Question 1. What is the significance of the term First Nations in Canada? A. It refers to the first European settlers. B. It is a term used to describe all non-Indigenous Canadians. C. It describes the various Indigenous groups who were the first inhabitants of Canada. D. It denotes the first established cities in Canada. Answer: C. It describes the various Indigenous groups who were the first inhabitants of Canada. First Nations is a term that collectively refers to the myriad of Indigenous groups throughout Canada, excluding the Inuit and Métis. Question 2. The Inuit people of Canada are primarily associated with which region? A. The Great Plains. B. The Canadian Shield. C. The Arctic regions. D. The Eastern Woodlands. Answer: C. The Arctic regions. The Inuit are a group of culturally similar Indigenous peoples inhabiting the Arctic regions of Greenland, Canada, and Alaska. Question 3. Which Indigenous language family includes languages spoken from the Rocky Mountains to the Atlantic Ocean? A. Iroquoian. B. Algonquian. C. Salishan. D. Wakashan. Answer: B. Algonquian. The Algonquian language family is one of the largest and most widespread in North America, with languages spoken from the Rockies to the Atlantic. Question 4. What was the purpose of the residential school system in Canada? A. To provide housing for Indigenous peoples. B. To educate Indigenous children in English and French. C. To assimilate Indigenous children into Euro-Canadian culture. D. To foster cultural exchanges between Indigenous and non-Indigenous children. Answer: C. To assimilate Indigenous children into Euro-Canadian culture. Residential schools were part of a policy to assimilate Indigenous children into the dominant Canadian culture, often at the expense of their native heritage and language. Question 5. The historical practice of potlatch is most associated with which Indigenous peoples? A. The Inuit. B. The Plains peoples. C. The Haida. D. The Huron-Wendat. Answer: C. The Haida. The potlatch is a ceremonial feast with deep social and economic significance, traditionally practiced by Indigenous peoples of the Pacific Northwest coast, such as the Haida. Question 6. Which Indigenous group is known for their development of the birch bark canoe? A. The Blackfoot. B. The Micmac. C. The Cree. D. The Anishinaabe. Answer: B. The Micmac. The Micmac are known for their craftsmanship of the birch bark canoe, which was essential for travel, trade, and communication. Question 7. The historical Métis are typically recognized as a distinct Indigenous people with mixed ancestry from which two cultural groups? A. French and Anishinaabe. B. English and Cree. C. French and Cree. D. Scottish and Inuit. Answer: C. French and Cree. The Métis are a distinct group of Indigenous people in Canada who trace their descent to mixed First Nations and European heritage, often French and Cree. Question 8. Which treaty is recognized as the first between the British Crown and Indigenous peoples in Canada, setting a precedent for subsequent treaties? A. The Numbered Treaties. B. The Douglas Treaties. C. The Treaty of Niagara. D. The Royal Proclamation of 1763. Answer: C. The Treaty of Niagara. The Treaty of Niagara in 1764 is recognized as one of the foundational treaties between Indigenous peoples and the British Crown in Canada. Question 9. What is the traditional Inuit dwelling made of snow called? A. Tipi. B. Wigwam. C. Longhouse. D. Igloo. Answer: D. Igloo. The traditional Inuit dwelling made of snow is known as an igloo, particularly well suited for the Arctic climate. Question 10. Which landmark decision by the Supreme Court of Canada affirmed the existence of Aboriginal title? A. The Delgamuukw decision. B. The Calder case. C. the Sparrow Case. D. The Van der Peet Decision. Answer A. The Delgamuukw Decision. In 1997, the Delgamuukw Decision was a landmark case where the Supreme Court of Canada affirmed the existence of Aboriginal title, which is a legal recognition of Indigenous land rights. Question 11. Which European nation first established the colony of New France in what is now Canada? A. Spain. B. France. C. England. D. Portugal. Answer B. France. France established New France in the early 17th century, with Quebec City founded by Samuel de Champlain in 1608 as its first permanent settlement. Question 12. The British conquest of New France was concluded with the signing of which treaty? A. Treaty of Paris, 1763. B. Treaty of Utrecht, 1713. C. Treaty of Versailles, 1783. D. Treaty of Ghent, 1814. Answer A. Treaty of Paris, 1763. This treaty ended the 7 Years' War and resulted in France ceding most of its North American colonies to Britain. Question 13. What was the primary economic activity in New France? A. Gold mining. B. The fur trade. C. Tobacco farming. D. Cotton production. Answer B. The fur trade. The fur trade, especially in beaver pelts, was the cornerstone of the economy in New France. Question 14. Which of the following was a primary reason for the British colonization of Newfoundland? A. Gold resources. B. Religious freedom. C. The fishing industry. D. Spices trade. Answer C. The fishing industry. Newfoundland was valued by the British primarily for its rich fishing grounds, especially the cod fisheries. Question 15. Which fort was a focal point in the struggle between the French and British empires in North America? A. Fort Niagara. B. Fort Ticonderoga. C. Fort Louisbourg. D. Fort Detroit. Answer C. Fort Louisbourg. Fort Louisbourg was a significant French fortification on Cape Breton Island and was captured by the British in 1758 during the 7 Years' War. Question 16. Who was the British general responsible for the victory over the French on the Plains of Abraham? A. General James Wolfe. B. General Edward Braddock. C. General John Burgoyne. D. General Charles Cornwallis. Answer A. General James Wolfe. General Wolfe led the British forces to a pivotal victory over the French at the Battle of the Plains of Abraham in 1759. Question 17. In which year did the British establish the colony of Nova Scotia, taking land previously part of French Acadia? A. 1605. B. 1710. C. 1749. D. 1784. Answer B. 1710. The British took control of Acadia and renamed it Nova Scotia in 1710 after the Treaty of Utrecht. Question 18. Which group of people were forcibly removed from Acadia during the Great Expulsion, Le Grand Derangement, by the British? A. The Acadians. B. The Métis. C. The Inuit. D. The Algonquin. Answer A. The Acadians. During the Great Expulsion, starting in 1755, many Acadians were forcibly removed from their lands by the British. Question 19. What was the Royal Proclamation of 1763? A. A declaration of war against France. B. A statement abolishing slavery. C. A document outlining the governance of Quebec. D. A decree that organized British territories in North America. Answer D. A decree that organized British territories in North America. The Royal Proclamation of 1763 established the framework for governing the newly acquired territories after the 7 Years' War. Question 20. The Quebec Act of 1774 was significant because it: A. Granted religious freedom to Catholics in Quebec. B. Made English the only official language of the colony. C. Imposed harsher trade laws on the American colonies. D. Opened Western lands for expansion. Answer: A. Granted religious freedom to Catholics in Quebec. The Quebec Act allowed the free practice of Catholic faith and reinstated French civil law in Quebec, which had a majority French-speaking Catholic population. Question 21. What year was the Canadian Confederation formed? A. 1867. B. 1871. C. 1898. D. 1905. Answer: A. 1867. The Canadian Confederation was formed on July 1, 1867, when the British colonies of Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and the province of Canada were united into one dominion under the name of Canada. Question 22. Which political figure is considered one of the fathers of Confederation and the first Prime Minister of Canada? A. John A. Macdonald. B. George Asian Cartier. C. Alexander Mackenzie. D. Wilfrid Laurier. Answer: A. John A. Macdonald. John A. Macdonald played a significant role in the creation of the Canadian Confederation and became the first Prime Minister of Canada. Question 23. Which document is considered Canada's primary founding document, establishing the federal system and the division of powers between the federal government and the provinces? A. The Constitution Act, 1867. B. The British North America Act. C. The Statute of Westminster. D. The Canada Act, 1982. Answer: B. The British North America Act. This act, which is now known as the Constitution Act, 1867, created the Dominion of Canada and outlined the structure of Canada's government. Question 24. Which of the following provinces was not one of the original 4 provinces that formed the Canadian Confederation? A. Ontario. B. Quebec. C. Prince Edward Island. D. New Brunswick. Answer: C. Prince Edward Island. Prince Edward Island joined Confederation later in 1873. The original 4 provinces were Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick, and Nova Scotia. Question 25. The Charlottetown Conference of 1864 was significant because it: A. Officially marked the independence of Canada from Britain. B. Was the first meeting where the idea of a union of the British North American colonies was discussed. C. Was where the Canadian Confederation was formally established. D. Led to the adoption of the Canadian flag. Answer: B. Was the first meeting where the idea of a union of the British North American colonies was discussed. The Charlottetown Conference was the first of 3 conferences that led to the formation of the Canadian Confederation in 1867. Question 26. What was the main result of the War of 1812 for Canada? A. Independence from British rule. B. Annexation by the United States. C. Establishment of the Canadian Confederation. D. Confirmation of existing borders with the United States. Answer: D. Confirmation of existing borders with the United States. The War of 1812 between the British Empire and the United States ended with the Treaty of Ghent, which effectively restored pre-war boundaries and confirmed Canada's borders. Question 27. The Battle of Vimy Ridge during World War I is significant for Canada because: A. It was a devastating defeat for Canadian forces. B. It was the first time Canadian divisions fought together. C. It triggered Canada's independence from Britain. D. It marked the end of World War I. Answer: B. It was the first time Canadian divisions fought together. The Battle of Vimy Ridge is seen as a defining moment for Canada, where the Canadian Corps fought as a national unit for the first time and succeeded. Question 28. Which event is known for starting the push for the recognition of French language rights in Canada? A. The Quiet Revolution. B. The October Crisis. C. The Battle of the Plains of Abraham. D. The Manitoba Schools Question. Answer: A. The Quiet Revolution. This period during the 1960s in Quebec was marked by social and political change and led to significant reforms, including the promotion of French language rights. Question 29. What was the significance of the Canadian Pacific Railway's completion in 1885? A. It initiated trade with Asia. B. It marked the end of the fur trade era. C. It connected eastern Canada to British Columbia, facilitating national unity. D. It was the beginning of industrialization in Canada. Answer: C. It connected eastern Canada to British Columbia, facilitating national unity. The completion of the railway was crucial for British Columbia to join the Confederation and for the development of Canada as a united country. Question 30. The Great Depression in Canada led to: A. The creation of the Canadian Confederation. B. A major economic downturn and widespread unemployment. C. Canada's involvement in World War I. D. The discovery of gold in the Yukon. Answer: B. A major economic downturn and widespread unemployment. The Great Depression, starting in 1929, caused significant economic hardship in Canada throughout the 1930s. Question 31. In which event did the Métis, led by Louis Riel, establish a provisional government in Manitoba? A. The Red River Rebellion. B. The Northwest Rebellion. C. The War of 1812. D. The 7 Years' War. Answer: A. The Red River Rebellion. In 1869, the Métis, fearing for their rights and land due to the influx of settlers, established a provisional government led by Louis Riel. Question 32. Canada's official declaration of war in 1939 was significant because it was: A. The first time Canada entered a war. B. Made independently of Britain. C. In response to a direct attack on Canadian soil. D. At the same time as the United States. Answer: B. Made independently of Britain. For the first time in its history, Canada made its own decision to declare war in World War II, reflecting its growing autonomy from Britain. Question 33. The October Crisis of 1970 involved which of the following groups? A. The Front de Libération du Québec, FLQ. B. The Canadian Armed Forces. C. The Irish Republican Army, IRA. D. The American Civil Rights Movement. Answer: A. The Front de Libération du Québec, FLQ. This group kidnapped government officials and sparked a crisis that led to the invocation of the War Measures Act. Question 34. The Charlottetown Accord of 1992 was: A. A successful amendment to the Canadian Constitution. B. A failed series of proposed amendments to the Canadian Constitution. C. The agreement that established the Canadian Confederation. D. A treaty between Canada and the Indigenous peoples. Answer: B. A failed series of proposed amendments to the Canadian Constitution. The Charlottetown Accord was a failed attempt to address various issues, including Quebec's sovereignty. Question 35. In what year did Canada achieve full sovereignty from Britain with the Statute of Westminster? A. 1867. B. 1919. C. 1931. D. 1982. Answer: C. 1931. The Statute of Westminster granted full legislative independence to Canada, although complete constitutional independence was not achieved until 1982. Question 36. The national policy, introduced by John A. Macdonald, was significant for its focus on: A. Healthcare reform. B. Military expansion. C. Economic protectionism and railway construction. D. Women's suffrage. Answer: C. Economic protectionism and railway construction. The national policy of the late 19th century aimed to protect Canadian industries through tariffs and build the transcontinental railway. Question 37. The discovery of which resource in the late 19th century led to the Klondike Gold Rush? A. Oil. B. Gold. C. Diamonds. D. Furs. Answer: B. Gold. The Klondike Gold Rush began after gold was discovered in the Yukon in 1896, leading to an influx of prospectors. Question 38. Canada's involvement in the Korean War, 1950 to 1953, was part of its commitment to A. the League of Nations, B. the British Commonwealth, C. the United Nations, D. NATO. Answer: C. the United Nations. Canada participated in the Korean War as part of a United Nations force. Question 39. The Royal Proclamation of 1763 is significant in Canadian history because it A. declared Canada's independence from France, B. established the Canadian Confederation, C. laid the foundation for the relationship between Canada and Indigenous peoples, D. granted universal suffrage to Canadians. Answer: C. laid the foundation for the relationship between Canada and Indigenous peoples. The Royal Proclamation set out guidelines for European settlement of Indigenous lands. Question 40. The Oka Crisis of 1990 was a land dispute between the town of Oka and which Indigenous group? A. the Cree, B. the Mohawk, C. the Inuit, D. the Métis. Answer: B. the Mohawk. The Oka Crisis was a land dispute between the Mohawk community of Knessetake and the town of Oka, Quebec, which led to a 78-day standoff. Question 41. What is the highest mountain in Canada? A. Whistler Mountain, B. Mount Logan, C. Mount Tremblant, D. Mount Fairweather. Answer: B. Mount Logan. Mount Logan is the highest mountain in Canada and the second highest peak in North America, reaching 5,959 meters, 19,551 feet, above sea level. Question 42. Which Canadian province is known for having the most lakes? A. British Columbia, B. Alberta, C. Ontario, D. Quebec. Answer: C. Ontario. Ontario is known for its large number of lakes, with over 250,000 lakes containing about 1/5 of the world's fresh water. Question 43. The Great Bear Lake, located in the Northwest Territories, is notable for being the largest lake located in A. a single Canadian province, B. the Arctic Circle, C. a Canadian national park, D. Southern Canada. Answer: B. the Arctic Circle. The Great Bear Lake is the largest lake entirely within Canada that is partly located in the Arctic Circle. Question 44. Which region of Canada is primarily characterized by its rugged and rocky terrain and is known as the country's Atlantic Gateway? A. the Prairies, B. the Canadian Shield, C. the Maritimes, D. the Great Plains. Answer: C. the Maritimes. The Maritime provinces, consisting of New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Island, are known for their rugged and rocky terrain and their significance as an Atlantic gateway. Question 45. What is the predominant feature of the Canadian landscape that stretches over half the country? A. the Rocky Mountains, B. the Canadian Shield, C. the Great Plains, D. the Boreal Forest. Answer: B. the Canadian Shield. The Canadian Shield is a large area of Precambrian rock that extends over half of Canada, noted for its rich mineral deposits. Question 46. Which Canadian territory is home to the country's most northern point, Cape Columbia on Ellesmere Island? A. Nunavut, B. Northwest Territories, C. Yukon, D. Newfoundland and Labrador. Answer: A. Nunavut. Nunavut encompasses most of the Canadian Arctic archipelago and is home to Cape Columbia, the northernmost point of Canada. Question 47. The Hudson Bay is a large body of saltwater that extends into which Canadian landform region? A. The interior plains. B. The Appalachian region. C. The Canadian Shield. D. The Great Lakes Basin. Answer: C. The Canadian Shield. The Hudson Bay is a large body of saltwater that extends into the Canadian Shield. Question 48. Which of the following is not one of the Great Lakes? A. Lake Huron. B. Lake Superior. C. Lake Michigan. D. Lake Winnipeg. Answer: D. Lake Winnipeg. Lake Winnipeg is a large lake in Manitoba, not one of the Great Lakes of North America. Question 49. Canada's longest river, the Mackenzie River, flows into which body of water? A. The Arctic Ocean. B. The Atlantic Ocean. C. The Pacific Ocean. D. Hudson Bay. Answer: A. The Arctic Ocean. The Mackenzie River flows from the Great Slave Lake in the Northwest Territories to the Arctic Ocean. Question 50. The Niagara Falls, one of the world's most famous waterfalls, is located on the border between Ontario and which U.S. state? A. New York. B. Michigan. C. Minnesota. D. Ohio. Answer: A. New York. The Niagara Falls is located on the border between Ontario, Canada, and New York, USA. Question 51. Which Canadian province is the largest by land area? A. Quebec. B. Ontario. C. British Columbia. D. Alberta. Answer: A. Quebec. Quebec is the largest province in Canada by land area. Question 52. What is the capital city of Saskatchewan? A. Saskatoon. B. Regina. C. Calgary. D. Winnipeg. Answer: B. Regina. Regina is the capital city of Saskatchewan. Question 53. Which territory was divided into Nunavut and the Northwest Territories in 1999? A. Yukon. B. Northwest Territories. C. Nunavut. D. Arctic Territory. Answer: B. Northwest Territories. The Northwest Territories was divided into Nunavut and the remaining Northwest Territories in 1999. Question 54. Which province is Canada's main producer of oil and gas? A. Quebec. B. Ontario. C. Alberta. D. Manitoba. Answer: C. Alberta. Alberta is known as Canada's largest producer of oil and natural gas. Question 55. How many provinces and territories does Canada have in total? A. 10 provinces and 3 territories. B. 10 provinces and 2 territories. C. 9 provinces and 3 territories. D. 11 provinces and 2 territories. Answer: A. 10 provinces and 3 territories. Canada is composed of 10 provinces and 3 territories. Question 56. Which province is known for having the largest French-speaking population outside of Quebec? A. New Brunswick. B. Ontario. C. Manitoba. D. Nova Scotia. Answer: A. New Brunswick. New Brunswick has a significant French-speaking population, the largest outside of Quebec. Question 57. In which territory is the town of Inuvik famous for its location in the Arctic Circle? A. Yukon. B. Northwest Territories. C. Nunavut. D. None of the above. Answer: B. Northwest Territories. Inuvik is located in the Northwest Territories within the Arctic Circle. Question 58. What is the smallest province in Canada in terms of land area? A. Prince Edward Island. B. Nova Scotia. C. New Brunswick. D. Newfoundland and Labrador. Answer: A. Prince Edward Island. Prince Edward Island is the smallest Canadian province by land area. Question 59. Which Canadian province has the longest coastline? A. British Columbia. B. Nova Scotia. C. Newfoundland and Labrador. D. Quebec. Answer C. Newfoundland and Labrador. Newfoundland and Labrador have the longest coastline of any Canadian province due to its extensive Atlantic frontage. Question 60. The capital of which province is the furthest west? A. British Columbia. B. Alberta. C. Saskatchewan. D. Manitoba. Answer A. British Columbia. Victoria, the capital of British Columbia, is the furthest west provincial capital. Question 61. What is the largest city in Canada by population? A. Vancouver. B. Toronto. C. Montreal. D. Calgary. Answer B. Toronto. Toronto is the largest city in Canada by population and serves as a major hub of finance and culture. Question 62. Which Canadian city is known for its oil and energy industries, often dubbed as the energy capital of Canada? A. Edmonton. B. Regina. C. Calgary. D. Saskatoon. Answer C. Calgary. Calgary is known for its oil and energy industries and is considered the energy capital of Canada. Question 63. Which city is the financial capital of Canada and also hosts the Toronto Stock Exchange? A. Ottawa. B. Toronto. C. Vancouver. D. Montreal. Answer B. Toronto. Toronto is the financial capital of Canada and is home to the Toronto Stock Exchange. Question 64. Which Canadian city is renowned for its film industry and is sometimes referred to as Hollywood North? A. Vancouver. B. Toronto. C. Montreal. D. Halifax. Answer A. Vancouver. Vancouver's film industry is robust, earning it the nickname Hollywood North. Question 65. What is the second largest city in Canada by population and the largest city in the province of Quebec? A. Quebec City. B. Montreal. C. Laval. D. Gatineau. Answer B. Montreal. Montreal is the second largest city in Canada by population and the largest in Quebec. Question 66. Which city is Canada's main Pacific port and a focal point for trade with Asia? A. Victoria. B. Vancouver. C. Richmond. D. Surrey. Answer B. Vancouver. Vancouver is a key Pacific port for Canada and a major point of trade with Asia. Question 67. Which city is the capital of Canada and also a major political and technological center? A. Ottawa. B. Edmonton. C. Winnipeg. D. Halifax. Answer A. Ottawa. Ottawa is the capital city of Canada and a hub for politics and technology. Question 68. The Silicon Valley of the North refers to which Canadian city known for its high-tech industry? A. Waterloo. B. Toronto. C. Ottawa. D. Calgary. Answer C. Ottawa. Ottawa is known as the Silicon Valley of the North because of its substantial high-tech business sector. Question 69. Which city is the largest in the Canadian prairies and is a major agricultural production and distribution center? A. Saskatoon. B. Regina. C. Winnipeg. D. Edmonton. Answer C. Winnipeg. Winnipeg is the largest city in the Canadian prairies and is important for agriculture. Question 70. Recognized as a cultural capital of Canada, which city is known for its festivals, art scene, and bilingual cosmopolitan population? A. Ottawa. B. Quebec City. C. Montreal. D. Toronto. Answer C. Montreal. Montreal is often referred to as the cultural capital of Canada, noted for its vibrant arts scene and festivals. Question 71. What is the primary cause of the decline in the population of the southern resident killer whales in Canadian waters? A. Overfishing. B. Pollution. C. Boat traffic disturbances. D. Climate change. Answer B. Pollution. Chemical pollutants in the water are one of the significant threats to the southern resident killer whales, affecting their health and food sources. Question 72. Which of the following Canadian regions is most affected by permafrost thawing due to climate change? A. The Rocky Mountains. B. The Great Lakes. C. The Canadian Arctic. D. The Atlantic provinces. Answer C. The Canadian Arctic. The Arctic regions of Canada are significantly affected by permafrost thawing, which impacts infrastructure and natural ecosystems. Question 73. What environmental issue is primarily caused by the agricultural activities in the Canadian prairies? A. Air pollution. B. Ocean acidification. C. Soil erosion. D. Urban sprawl. Answer C. Soil erosion. Agricultural practices, including plowing and monoculture, contribute significantly to soil erosion in the Canadian prairies. Question 74. What is the leading cause of deforestation in Canada? A. Urbanization. B. Mining activities. C. Commercial logging. D. Wildfires. Answer C. Commercial logging. Logging for timber is the primary cause of deforestation in Canada, though efforts are made to manage and reduce its impact. Question 75. Which Canadian city has implemented a significant bike-sharing program to combat urban air pollution? A. Toronto. B. Vancouver. C. Montreal. D. Calgary. Answer C. Montreal. Montreal has a comprehensive bike-sharing system called BIXI, which is part of the city's efforts to reduce vehicle emissions and promote sustainable transport. Question 76. As of the latest data before April 2023, which Canadian province leads in wind power generation? A. Alberta. B. Ontario. C. Quebec. D. British Columbia. Answer B. Ontario. Ontario has been a leader in wind power generation, with numerous wind farms contributing to the province's renewable energy sources. Question 77. The Great Lakes region is threatened by invasive species. Which of the following has caused significant ecological disruption? A. Asian carp. B. Africanized bees. C. European starlings. D. Himalayan blackberry. Answer A. Asian carp. Asian carp have been particularly disruptive in the Great Lakes, threatening the native fish species and ecosystem balance. Question 78. What is the main environmental concern related to the Athabasca oil sands? A. Deforestation. B. Ocean pollution. C. Air quality. D. Water usage and contamination. Answer D. Water usage and contamination. The extraction of bitumen from the Athabasca oil sands requires significant amounts of water, leading to concerns about water consumption and pollution. Question 79. Which Canadian initiative is focused on the conservation of the boreal forest? A. The Greenbelt Plan. B. The Boreal Forest Agreement. C. The Blue Flag Program. D. The Pacific North Coast Integrated Management Area Initiative. Answer B. The Boreal Forest Agreement. This initiative aims to protect vast areas of Canada's boreal forest through sustainable forestry practices and conservation efforts. Question 80. How is Canada addressing the issue of plastic waste in its waters? A. Banning single-use plastics. B. Subsidizing plastic manufacturing. C. Exporting plastic waste. D. Increasing plastic production quotas. Answer A. Banning single-use plastics. Canada is working to reduce plastic pollution by implementing bans on certain single-use plastics and encouraging recycling and sustainable alternatives. Question 81. What is the highest court in Canada? A. Provincial Court. B. Supreme Court of Canada. C. Federal Court of Canada. D. Court of Queen's Bench. Answer B. Supreme Court of Canada. The Supreme Court of Canada is the highest court of the country, and its decisions are the ultimate expression and application of Canadian law. Question 82. Who is the head of state in Canada? A. Prime Minister. B. Governor General. C. Queen or King of Canada. D. President. Answer C. Queen or King of Canada. The monarch is the head of state, a role that is largely ceremonial and carried out by the Governor General at the federal level. Question 83. What are the two houses of the Parliament of Canada? A. House of Commons and Senate. B. House of Representatives and Senate. C. House of Commons and House of Lords. D. Senate and Legislative Assembly. Answer A. House of Commons and Senate. The Parliament of Canada is bicameral, consisting of the Queen, represented by the Governor General, the Senate, and the House of Commons. Question 84. Who is the head of government in Canada? A. Monarch. B. Prime Minister. C. Governor General. D. President. Answer B. Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is the head of government and is responsible for running the country. Question 85. How are members of the Canadian Senate selected? A. Elected by citizens. B. Appointed by the Governor General. C. Appointed by the Prime Minister. D. Chosen by provincial legislatures. Answer C. Appointed by the Prime Minister. Senators are appointed by the Governor General on the advice of the Prime Minister. Question 86. What is the role of the opposition parties in Canada? A. To assist the ruling party. B. To enforce laws. C. To oppose and scrutinize government policies. D. To govern the provinces. Answer C. To oppose and scrutinize government policies. The opposition has a critical role in holding the government accountable for its decisions and actions. Question 87. Who has the power to dissolve the Canadian Parliament? A. Prime Minister. B. Governor General. C. The people through a referendum. D. The Senate. Answer B. Governor General. The Governor General has the formal power to dissolve Parliament, generally on the advice of the Prime Minister, to call a general election. Question 88. What is the minimum number of seats a political party needs to achieve a majority government in the House of Commons? A. 155. B. 170. C. 338. D. 151. Answer B. 170. Since the House of Commons has 338 seats, a party needs at least 170 seats for a majority. Question 89. In Canada, who is responsible for intergovernmental affairs? A. The Prime Minister. B. The Premier. C. The Governor General. D. The Speaker of the House. Answer A. The Prime Minister. Intergovernmental affairs, especially those between the federal and provincial governments, are typically handled by the Prime Minister and the Privy Council Office. Question 90. Which principle is the Canadian government based on? A. Dictatorship. B. Parliamentary democracy and constitutional monarchy. C. Direct democracy. D. Presidential system. Answer B. Parliamentary democracy and constitutional monarchy. Canada is governed as a parliamentary democracy, with a monarch as the symbolic head of state. Question 91. How often must federal elections be held in Canada? A. Every 4 years. B. Every 5 years. C. At least every 6 years. D. When the government loses a confidence vote. Answer B. Every 5 years. According to the Canada Elections Act, A federal election is scheduled every 4 years on the third Monday in October of the fourth calendar year after the previous poll, but the government can call it earlier. There's no fixed term for how long a person can serve as Prime Minister. Question 92. What is the main role of the civil service in Canada? A. To make laws. B. To interpret laws. C. To enforce laws. D. To administer the day-to-day operations of government. Answer D. To administer the day-to-day operations of government. The civil service supports the elected government officials in creating and implementing policies. Question 93. Who is the Commander-in-Chief of the Canadian Armed Forces? A. The Prime Minister. B. The Minister of National Defence. C. The Chief of Defence Staff. D. The Governor-General. Answer D. The Governor-General. The Governor-General acts as the Commander-in-Chief of the Canadian Armed Forces as the representative of the monarch. Question 94. What type of government does each Canadian province have? A. Monarchical. B. Parliamentary. C. Presidential. D. Federal. Answer B. Parliamentary. Each Canadian province has a parliamentary system similar to the federal system, with a premier and a unicameral legislature. Question 95. Who can introduce legislation in the Canadian Parliament? A. Only the Prime Minister. B. Any member of Parliament or Senator. C. Only the members of the ruling party. D. Only the Speaker of the House. Answer B. Any member of Parliament or Senator. While most legislation is introduced by the government, any member of Parliament or Senator can introduce legislation. Question 96. What is the function of the Speaker in the House of Commons? A. To represent a riding. B. To vote on legislation. C. To preside over debates and ensure orderly conduct. D. To appoint members to committees. Answer C. To preside over debates and ensure orderly conduct. The Speaker is responsible for maintaining order during debates and ensuring that the rules of the House are followed. Question 97. In Canada's legal system, what is the Crown? A. The monarch. B. The government and its legal representation. C. The Prime Minister. D. The physical crown worn by the monarch. Answer B. The government and its legal representation. In legal and governmental contexts, the Crown refers to the authority of the government, and it can prosecute and defend legal actions. Question 98. Who is entitled to vote in Canadian federal elections? A. All Canadian residents. B. All Canadian citizens over the age of 16. C. All Canadian citizens over the age of 18. D. All Canadian citizens and permanent residents over the age of 18. Answer C. All Canadian citizens over the age of 18. Canadian law allows citizens who are 18 or older to vote in federal elections. Question 99. What is the main purpose of political parties in Canada? A. To provide social services. B. To nominate judges. C. To shape and propose policies to the electorate. D. To enforce laws. Answer C. To shape and propose policies to the electorate. Political parties develop platforms and propose policies that they believe will benefit the country if they are elected to govern. Question 100. What is a hung parliament in the Canadian context? A. When Parliament is suspended. B. When no party has a clear majority of seats. C. When the Parliament building is closed. D. When all seats are occupied by independent MPs. Answer B. When no party has a clear majority of seats. A hung parliament occurs when no single political party or pre-existing coalition commands an absolute majority of seats in the parliament. Question 101. Which level of government in Canada is primarily responsible for education? A. Municipal. B. Provincial. C. Federal. D. Territorial. Answer B. Provincial. In Canada, education falls under the jurisdiction of provincial governments. Question 102. Healthcare in Canada is administered by which level of government? A. Federal. B. Provincial and territorial. C. Municipal. D. Joint federal-provincial. Answer B. Provincial and territorial. While the federal government sets and administers national principles under the Canada Health Act, the provision of healthcare services is the responsibility of each province and territory. Question 103. Which authority is responsible for national defense in Canada? A. Provincial. B. Municipal. C. Federal. D. Biprovincial. Answer C. Federal. National defense is a federal responsibility in Canada. Question 104. The power to levy direct taxes, like income tax, is held by which level of government? A. Provincial exclusively. B. Federal exclusively. C. Both provincial and federal. D. Municipal. Answer C. Both provincial and federal. Both levels of government have the power to levy direct taxes, such as income tax in Canada. Question 105. Which level of government is responsible for setting speed limits on roads? A. Federal. B. Provincial and territorial. C. Municipal. D. Biprovincial. Answer B. Provincial and territorial. Provinces and territories have the jurisdiction to set speed limits on roads. Question 106. Natural resource management in Canada is primarily under the control of which level of government? A. Federal. B. Provincial and territorial. C. Municipal. D. Shared between federal and provincial. Answer B. Provincial and territorial. Natural resources are mainly managed by provincial and territorial governments. Question 107. Immigration policies in Canada are primarily established by which level of government? A. Federal. B. Provincial. C. Municipal. D. Provincial in conjunction with federal. Answer D. Provincial in conjunction with federal. While the federal government has the main authority, provinces can also establish their own immigration policies through programs like the Provincial Nominee Program. Question 108. Who is responsible for the administration of justice, including the establishment of courts in Canada? A. Municipal. B. Provincial and territorial. C. Federal. D. Shared between federal and provincial. Answer B. Provincial and territorial. The administration of justice and the establishment of courts are primarily the responsibilities of the provincial and territorial governments. Question 109. In the event of a natural disaster within a province, which level of government typically takes the lead role in the management and response? A. Federal. B. Provincial. C. Municipal. D. International. Answer B. Provincial. Typically, the provincial government takes the lead in managing and responding to natural disasters within its borders, though it may request federal assistance if needed. Question 110. For the creation of new municipalities, which level of government has the authority in Canada? A. Federal. B. Provincial. C. Municipal. D. Territorial. Answer B. Provincial. Provincial governments have the authority to create new municipalities within their territory. Question 111. How often are federal elections held in Canada? A. Every 3 years. B. Every 4 years. C. Every 5 years. D. As called by the Prime Minister. Answer D. As called by the Prime Minister. Federal elections are typically held every 4 years, but the Prime Minister can call an election earlier. Question 112. What is the minimum voting age for federal elections in Canada? A. 16. B. 18. C. 21. D. 25. Answer B. 18. The minimum voting age in federal elections is 18 years old. Question 113. Which political party did Justin Trudeau lead in the 2015 federal election? A. Conservative Party. B. Liberal Party. C. New Democratic Party. D. Green Party. Answer B. Liberal Party. Justin Trudeau is the leader of the Liberal Party and was elected Prime Minister in 2015. Question 114. What is the role of the Governor-General in Canadian elections? A. Runs the election process. B. Votes in case of a tie in Parliament. C. Gives the final assent to the elected Prime Minister. D. Dissolves Parliament upon the Prime Minister's advice to call an election. Answer D. Dissolves Parliament upon the Prime Minister's advice to call an election. The Governor-General plays a ceremonial role in dissolving Parliament before an election. Question 115. How many seats in the House of Commons must a party win to have a majority government? A. At least 50% of the seats. B. 100 seats. C. 155 seats. D. 170 seats. Answer D. 170 seats. A majority government is formed by winning at least 170 of the 338 seats in the House of Commons. Question 116. What is the name of the political party primarily focused on environmental issues? A. Conservative Party. B. Liberal Party. C. Green Party. D. Bloc Québécois. Answer C. Green Party. The Green Party is known for prioritizing environmental issues. Question 117. Which party is known for advocating Quebec's sovereignty? A. Conservative Party. B. Liberal Party. C. New Democratic Party. D. Bloc Québécois. Answer D. Bloc Québécois. The Bloc Québécois is a federal political party that promotes Quebec's interests and sovereignty. Question 118. Who has the right to vote in Canadian federal elections? A. All residents of Canada. B. Canadian citizens only. C. All North American citizens. D. Commonwealth citizens residing in Canada. Answer B. Canadian citizens only. Only Canadian citizens are eligible to vote in federal elections. Question 119. What system is used to elect members to the House of Commons in Canada? A. Proportional representation. B. Single transferable vote. C. First past the post. D. Mixed member proportional. Answer C. First past the post. Canada uses a first past the post system for federal elections. Question 120. What is a riding in the context of Canadian elections? A. A political party's platform. B. The act of campaigning. C. An electoral district. D. A parliamentary session. Answer C. An electoral district. In Canada, a riding is another term for an electoral district. Question 121. Which of the following is not a federally recognized political party in Canada? A. The Animal Protection Party. B. The Pirate Party. C. The Birthday Party. D. The Marxist-Leninist Party. Answer C. The Birthday Party. The Birthday Party is not a federally recognized political party in Canada. Question 122. What does the term crossing the floor refer to in Canadian politics? A. Changing party allegiance. B. The speaker moving to the opposite side of the House. C. The process of casting a vote. D. Physically moving to the other side of the parliamentary chamber for discussion. Answer A. Changing party allegiance. Crossing the floor means a member of the legislature has changed their party allegiance. Question 123. What is the significance of the writ of election in Canada? A. It certifies the winner of an election. B. It is the formal call to voters to elect a new government. C. It is the document that establishes new political parties. D. It signifies the end of an election period. Answer B. It is the formal call to voters to elect a new government. The writ of election is the official document that triggers an election. Question 124. How is the Prime Minister of Canada chosen? A. Direct vote by the citizens. B. Appointment by the Governor-General. C. The leader of the party with the most seats in the House of Commons. D. Selection by the Senate. Answer C. The leader of the party with the most seats in the House of Commons. The Prime Minister is typically the leader of the majority party in the House of Commons. Question 125. What is a minority government in Canada? A. A government where the Prime Minister is from a minority community. B. A government formed by a coalition of parties. C. A government where no party has a clear majority in the House of Commons. D. A government that lasts less than 2 years. Answer C. A government where no party has a clear majority in the House of Commons. A minority government occurs when the party in power holds fewer seats than the combined opposition. Question 126. Which of the following is a key principle of the New Democratic Party, NDP? A. Fiscal conservatism. B. Social democracy. C. Free market liberalism. D. Quebec nationalism. Answer B. Social democracy. The NDP is known for advocating social democratic principles. Question 127. What event typically occurs if a government loses a confidence vote in the House of Commons? A. The government must resign. B. A new prime minister is appointed. C. A national referendum is held. D. An election is called. Answer D. An election is called. If the government loses a confidence vote, it usually leads to an election being called. Question 128. Who was the first female Prime Minister of Canada? A. Kim Campbell. B. Agnes MacPhail. C. Michaëlle Jean. D. Elizabeth May. Answer A. Kim Campbell. Kim Campbell served as the Prime Minister of Canada in 1993. Question 129. What does the term backbencher refer to in Canadian politics? A. A newly elected member of Parliament. B. A member of Parliament who does not hold a cabinet position or shadow cabinet position. C. The Speaker of the House. D. A retired politician. Answer B. A member of Parliament who does not hold a cabinet position or shadow cabinet position. Backbenchers are MPs who are not part of the government's cabinet or the opposition's shadow cabinet. Question 130. In which year did the Conservative Party of Canada form from the merger of the Canadian Alliance and the Progressive Conservative Party? A. 1987. B. 1993. C. 2003. D. 2006. Answer C. 2003. The Conservative Party of Canada was formed in 2003 from the merger of the Canadian Alliance and the Progressive Conservative Party. Question 131. What is the highest court in Canada? A. The Federal Court of Canada. B. The Provincial Court. C. The Supreme Court of Canada. D. The Court of Appeal. Answer C. The Supreme Court of Canada. The Supreme Court of Canada is the highest court and the final court of appeal in the country, hearing cases from both the provincial and federal jurisdictions. Question 132. Which legal principle is a cornerstone of Canada's judicial system, ensuring that everyone is treated equally under the law? A. Habeas corpus. B. Rule of law. C. Stare decisis. D. Due process. Answer B. Rule of law. The rule of law is a fundamental principle that ensures all individuals and governments are subject to and accountable to laws that are fairly applied and enforced. Question 133. In Canada's legal system, what is the primary role of a defense lawyer? A. To prove the guilt of the accused. B. To judge the accused. C. To represent and defend the accused. D. To enforce the law. Answer: C. To represent and defend the accused. A defense lawyer's primary role is to represent the accused in court, ensuring their legal rights are protected and providing a defense against the charges. Question 134. What is the name of the Canadian Charter that protects individual rights and freedoms? A. The Charter of Rights and Freedoms. B. The Bill of Rights. C. The Human Rights Code. D. The Civil Liberties Act. Answer: A. The Charter of Rights and Freedoms. The Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms is part of the Canadian Constitution that protects individual rights and freedoms from the actions of all levels of government. Question 135. Who appoints judges to the Supreme Court of Canada? A. The Prime Minister. B. The Governor-General. C. The Parliament of Canada. D. The Minister of Justice. Answer: A. The Prime Minister. Judges of the Supreme Court of Canada are appointed by the Prime Minister and formally appointed by the Governor-General. Question 136. What does presumption of innocence mean in the Canadian legal context? A. The accused must prove their innocence. B. The accused is considered innocent until proven guilty. C. The accuser must prove the accused's innocence. The accused is presumed guilty until proven innocent. Answer: B. The accused is considered innocent until proven guilty. The presumption of innocence is a legal right of the accused in a criminal trial, ensuring fair treatment under the law. Question 137. What is a jury responsible for in a Canadian criminal trial? A. Making laws. B. Enforcing the law. C. Deciding on the guilt or innocence of the accused. D. Representing the accused. Answer: C. Deciding on the guilt or innocence of the accused. A jury is a group of citizens tasked with determining whether the accused is guilty or not based on the evidence presented during the trial. Question 138. Which document is the foundation of statutory law in Canada? A. The Constitution Act, 1867. B. The Magna Carta. C. The Canadian Bill of Rights, 1960. D. The British North America Act, 1867. Answer: A. The Constitution Act, 1867. The Constitution Act, 1867, originally known as the British North America Act, is a key document in the foundation of statutory law in Canada. Question 139. How are criminal laws primarily created in Canada? A. By judicial decisions. B. By provincial legislatures. C. By the federal parliament. D. By municipal governments. Answer: C. By the federal parliament. In Canada, criminal laws are primarily created by the federal parliament, as criminal law falls under federal jurisdiction according to the Constitution. Question 140. What is double jeopardy in the context of Canadian law? A. Being tried twice for the same crime after being acquitted. B. Facing two trials at the same time. C. Having a legal decision appealed. D. Being subject to two different laws. Answer: A. Being tried twice for the same crime after being acquitted. Double jeopardy is a legal doctrine that prevents an individual from being tried again on the same or similar charges following a legitimate acquittal or conviction. Question 141. Who is Canada's head of state? A. The Prime Minister of Canada. B. The Governor-General of Canada. C. The President of Canada. D. The Monarch of the United Kingdom. Answer: D. The Monarch of the United Kingdom. Canada is a constitutional monarchy, which means that the country recognizes the monarch of the United Kingdom as its head of state. The monarch's role in Canada is largely ceremonial and symbolic. Question 142. What is the role of the Governor-General in Canada? A. Head of government. B. Head of state. C. The monarch's direct representative. D. The Prime Minister's deputy. Answer: C. The monarch's direct representative. The Governor-General represents the monarch in Canada and carries out the duties of the head of state on their behalf. Question 143. Which of the following is a duty performed by the Canadian monarch? A. Signing bills into law. B. Managing the Canadian economy. C. Leading the Canadian Armed Forces. D. Issuing royal proclamations. Answer: A. Signing bills into law. One of the ceremonial duties of the Canadian monarch is to give royal assent to bills passed by Parliament, which is required before they can become law. Question 144. What is the term used to describe Canada's type of monarchy? A. Absolute monarchy. B. Constitutional monarchy. C. Federal monarchy. D. Parliamentary monarchy. Answer: B. Constitutional monarchy. Canada is a constitutional monarchy, which means that the sovereign's power is limited by the Constitution and laws of the country, and the role is largely ceremonial. Question 145. When the monarch is not in Canada, who performs their ceremonial duties? A. The Prime Minister. B. The Speaker of the House. C. The Chief Justice of Canada. D. The Governor-General. Answer: D. The Governor-General. The Governor-General performs the duties of the monarch in Canada when the monarch is not present in the country. Question 146. What is the primary goal of Canadian foreign policy? A. Economic self-interest. B. Promoting national security. C. Advancing democracy and human rights. D. Maintaining sovereignty over Canadian waters. Answer: C. Advancing democracy and human rights. Canadian foreign policy traditionally emphasizes the promotion of democracy, human rights, international law, and sustainable development. Question 147. Which department is the main face of Canada's foreign affairs? A. Department of Justice Canada. B. Department of National Defence. C. Global Affairs Canada. D. Canadian Heritage. Answer: C. Global Affairs Canada. This department manages Canada's diplomatic and consular relations, promotes the country's international trade, and leads Canada's international development and humanitarian assistance. Question 148. Which of the following is a key feature of Canada's foreign trade policy? A. Trade diversification. B. Focusing solely on the U.S. market. C. Import substitution. D. Export prohibition. Answer: A. Trade diversification. Canada aims to diversify its trade to reduce dependence on any single trading partner, even though the U.S. remains its largest trading partner. Question 149. Which international organization did Canada help to found in 1945? A. The League of Nations. B. The European Union. C. The United Nations. D. NATO. Answer: C. The United Nations. Canada was among the 51 original member states that founded the United Nations in 1945. Question 150. What was a primary reason for Canada's participation in the Afghanistan mission from 2001 to 2014? A. Securing oil resources. B. Countering international drug trade. C. Combating global terrorism. D. Expanding Canadian territory. Answer: C. Combating global terrorism. Post 9/11 events, Canada joined the U.S.-led international coalition in Afghanistan with the aim of dismantling terrorist networks. Question 151. What is the mandatory civic duty required of Canadian citizens aged 18 and over? A. Paying taxes. B. Attending jury duty when summoned. C. Voting in federal elections. D. Enrolling in the military. Answer B. Attending jury duty when summoned. While voting in federal elections is highly encouraged, it is not mandatory. Paying taxes and enrolling in the military are also civic responsibilities, but are not mandatory in the same sense as responding to a jury summons. Question 152. Which activity is considered a civic responsibility for Canadian citizens? A. Driving below the speed limit. B. Volunteering in community services. C. Owning a house. D. Working for the federal government. Answer B. Volunteering in community services. Volunteering is a civic responsibility that contributes to the community and is encouraged among citizens. Question 153. What is the role of the Canadian citizen in elections apart from voting? A. Running for public office. B. Counting votes. C. Reporting electoral fraud. D. All of the above. Answer D. All of the above. Canadian citizens can run for public office, assist in the electoral process, and have responsibility to report any instances of fraud. Question 154. Which of these is a legal obligation for Canadian citizens? A. Recycling. B. Conserving water. C. Completing the census. D. Planting trees annually. Answer C. Completing the census. Every 5 years, Canadian citizens are legally required to complete the national census. Question 155. How can Canadian citizens participate in the judicial process other than jury duty? A. By becoming a judge. B. By observing court sessions. C. By providing legal counsel. D. By witnessing a document signing. Answer B. By observing court sessions. Court sessions are open to the public, and attending them is one way citizens can participate in the judicial process. Question 156. What is a responsibility of Canadian citizens regarding the Charter of Rights and Freedoms? A. To memorize it. B. To teach it. C. To uphold the rights and freedoms it guarantees. D. To vote on amendments to it. Answer C. To uphold the rights and freedoms it guarantees. Citizens have the responsibility to respect the principles of the Charter in their daily lives. Question 157. In Canada, which of the following is considered a civic duty? A. Investing in Canadian bonds. B. Following local bylaws and regulations. C. Shopping at Canadian-owned stores. D. Watching the national news. Answer B. Following local bylaws and regulations. Adhering to the laws and bylaws is a civic duty for all residents and citizens. Question 158. What is a fundamental characteristic of Canadian citizenship? A. Free travel within provinces. B. Promotion of multiculturalism and diversity. C. Guarantee of employment. D. Access to luxury healthcare services. Answer B. Promotion of multiculturalism and diversity. Canadian citizens are encouraged to embrace and promote these values. Question 159. What civic duty could be required of Canadian citizens during a national emergency? A. Military service. B. Evacuation. C. Civic defense training. D. All of the above. Answer D. All of the above. In a national emergency, various civic duties could be required, including military service, evacuation, or participation in civic defense. Question 160. Canadian citizens have a responsibility to protect the environment. Which action reflects this duty? A. Using public transportation. B. Purchasing electric vehicles. C. Participating in recycling programs. D. All of the above. Answer D. All of the above. All these actions reflect the responsibility to protect the environment as part of civic duties. Question 161. What is considered Canada's largest and most significant industry? A. Aerospace. B. Automotive. C. Energy. D. Agriculture. Answer C. Energy. Canada is one of the world's largest producers of energy, including oil, natural gas, and hydroelectric power, making it the country's most significant industry. Question 162. Which Canadian province is the largest producer of oil and gas? A. British Columbia. B. Quebec. C. Alberta. D. Saskatchewan. Answer C. Alberta. The province of Alberta is Canada's leading producer of oil and gas, particularly from its oil sands region. Question 163. Which industry is a major contributor to Canada's GDP and is known for its export of maple syrup? A. Textiles. B. Agriculture and agri-food. C. Technology. D. Entertainment. Answer B. Agriculture and agri-food. The agriculture and agri-food sector is a significant part of Canada's economy, and the country is renowned for producing and exporting maple syrup. Question 164. Canada is a world leader in the production of which type of mining resource? A. Coal. B. Diamonds. C. Uranium. D. Salt. Answer B. Diamonds. Canada is one of the leading countries in diamond production, particularly from mines in the Northwest Territories. Question 165. What sector employs the largest number of Canadians? A. Service. B. Manufacturing. C. Agriculture. D. Mining. Answer A. Service. The service sector employs the majority of Canadians, including retail, education, healthcare, and financial services. Question 166. Which Canadian city is known for being the center of the country's financial services industry? A. Montreal. B. Vancouver. C. Toronto. D. Calgary. Answer C. Toronto. Toronto is the financial services capital of Canada, home to the Toronto Stock Exchange and numerous banks and financial institutions. Question 167. Canada is the largest exporter of which forestry product? A. Paper. B. Softwood lumber. C. Hardwood. D. Furniture. Answer B. Softwood lumber. Canada is the world's largest exporter of softwood lumber, much of which is sent to the United States. Question 168. Which Canadian industry is known for its contribution to the entertainment sector through film and television production? A. Broadcasting. B. Digital media. C. Publishing. D. Telecommunications. Answer A. Broadcasting. Canada's broadcasting industry, particularly in cities like Vancouver and Toronto, is a significant contributor to the global entertainment sector through film and television production. Question 169. The province of Quebec is a leader in the production of which type of renewable energy? A. Wind. B. Solar. C. Hydroelectric. D. Geothermal. Answer C. Hydroelectric. Quebec is known for its extensive hydroelectric power production, with a vast majority of its power coming from renewable hydroelectric sources. Question 170. Which Canadian province is most known for its fishing industry? A. Nova Scotia. B. Prince Edward Island. C. Newfoundland and Labrador. D. Ontario. Answer C. Newfoundland and Labrador. The province of Newfoundland and Labrador has a historic and continuing role in Canada's fishing industry, particularly in the Atlantic Ocean. Question 171. What was the main economic activity of early European settlers in Canada? A. Manufacturing. B. Gold mining. C. Fur trade. D. Automobile production. Answer C. Fur trade. Early European settlers in Canada engaged primarily in the fur trade, which was central to the early Canadian economy and was crucial for trade relations with Indigenous peoples. Question 172. The national policy implemented in the late 19th century in Canada was designed to A. Reduce tariffs on imported goods. B. Encourage immigration from Asia. C. Promote free trade with the United States. D. Stimulate domestic manufacturing through high tariffs. Answer D. Stimulate domestic manufacturing through high tariffs. The national policy was a central economic and political strategy that sought to promote Canadian industries through high tariffs on imported manufactured items. Question 173. Which Canadian industry experienced significant growth due to technological advancements in the early 20th century? A. Shipbuilding. B. Textiles. C. Automotive. D. Telecommunications. Answer C. Automotive. The automotive industry in Canada grew substantially in the early 20th century, particularly with the establishment of branches of American automakers in Ontario. Question 174. The Free Trade Agreement, FTA, signed between Canada and the United States in 1988 aimed to A. Increase Canada's dependency on the U.S. economy. B. Eliminate most trade barriers between the two countries. C. Impose new tariffs on agricultural products. D. Protect Canadian cultural industries. Answer B. Eliminate most trade barriers between the two countries. The FTA was a landmark deal intended to reduce trade barriers, such as tariffs, to facilitate increased trade and economic integration between Canada and the United States. Question 175. What economic event in the early 1930s had a severe impact on the Canadian economy? A. The tech boom. B. The Great Depression. C. The automotive revolution. D. The post-war boom. Answer B. The Great Depression. The Great Depression was a worldwide economic downturn that severely affected Canada, leading to widespread unemployment, poverty, and a reduction in both international trade and domestic economic activity. Question 176. Which country is Canada's largest trading partner? A. China. B. Mexico. C. United Kingdom. D. United States. Answer D. United States. The United States is Canada's largest trading partner due to geographic proximity and agreements such as NAFTA and its successor, USMCA. Question 177. What is the primary export from Canada to the United States? A. Automobiles. B. Oil and petroleum products. C. Lumber and forest products. D. Agricultural products. Answer B. Oil and petroleum products. Oil and petroleum exports constitute the largest category of goods exported from Canada to the United States. Question 178. Which trade agreement includes Canada, the United States, and Mexico? A. European Union. B. USMCA. C. ASEAN. D. Trans-Pacific Partnership. Answer B. USMCA. The United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, is the trade agreement between Canada, the United States, and Mexico. Question 179. Canada's trade with which Asian country has notably increased in the 21st century? A. Japan. B. South Korea. C. China. D. India. Answer C. China. Canada's trade with China has grown significantly, making China its second largest trading partner after the United States. Question 180. In addition to the USMCA, Canada is a member of which major international trade agreement? A. South American Free Trade Area. B. Commonwealth of Nations. C. Trans-Pacific Partnership, TPP. D. South Asian Free Trade Area. Answer C. Trans-Pacific Partnership, TPP. Canada is a member of the TPP, which is a trade agreement among various Pacific Rim countries. Question 181. What is the name of Canada's central bank? A. The Bank of Canada. B. The Royal Bank of Canada. C. The Canadian National Bank. D. The Bank of Montreal. Answer A. The Bank of Canada. The Bank of Canada is the nation's central bank, responsible for monetary policy, issuing banknotes, and other functions related to the country's financial stability. Question 182. What is the currency of Canada called? A. The Canadian dollar. B. The Canadian pound. C. The Canadian franc. D. The Canadian euro. Answer A. The Canadian dollar. The official currency of Canada is the Canadian dollar, denoted by the symbol dollar or C dollar to differentiate it from other dollar-denominated currencies. Question 183. When did the Canadian dollar become a floating currency? A. 1950. B. 1962. C. 1970. D. 1982. Answer C. 1970. The Canadian dollar became a floating currency in 1970, which means its value is determined by the foreign exchange market and not pegged to another currency. Question 184. What is the primary role of the Canada Deposit Insurance Corporation, CDIC? A. To issue new money. B. To insure bank deposits. C. To provide loans to businesses. D. To collect taxes. Answer B. To insure bank deposits. The CDIC is a federal crown corporation that insures eligible deposits at member financial institutions in case of their failure. Question 185. What is a unique feature of Canadian banknotes? A. They are made of paper. B. They are plastic-based or polymer. C. They are only printed in black and white. D. They change color with temperature. Answer B. They are plastic-based or polymer. Canadian banknotes are made from a polymer material, which makes them more durable and secure against counterfeiting. Question 186. What is the minimum number of weeks for maternity leave according to Canadian federal labor standards? A. 16 weeks. B. 17 weeks. C. 52 weeks. D. 50 weeks. Answer B. 17 weeks. According to Canadian federal labor standards, the minimum maternity leave is 17 weeks. This may be supplemented by additional time under certain provincial labor laws. Question 187. In Canada, what is the maximum number of hours most employees can be required to work in 1 week? A. 40 hours. B. 44 hours. C. 48 hours. D. 60 hours. Answer C. 48 hours. According to the Canada Labour Code, the standard work week is 40 hours, with a maximum of 48 hours, excluding overtime unless there are exceptional circumstances. Question 188. Which legislation governs the prevention of workplace discrimination and harassment in Canada? A. Employment Equity Act. B. Canadian Human Rights Act. C. Labor Standards Act. D. Workers' Compensation Act. Answer B. Canadian Human Rights Act. The Canadian Human Rights Act seeks to ensure that all Canadians have equal employment opportunities without being subject to discriminatory practices, including harassment. Question 189. What age is considered the general minimum for employment in most Canadian provinces? A. 14 years. B. 15 years. C. 16 years. D. 18 years. Answer A. 14 years. Most Canadian provinces have set 14 years as the minimum age for employment, with certain restrictions regarding the type of work and hours. Question 190. What type of leave is provided under the Canadian Labour Code for employees dealing with the death of an immediate family member? A. Compassionate care leave. B. Bereavement leave. C. Emergency leave. D. Personal leave. Answer B. Bereavement leave. The Canadian Labour Code provides bereavement leave for employees dealing with the death of an immediate family member, which is separate from compassionate care leave. Question 191. What is the largest age group in Canada as of the latest census? A. 0 to 14 years. B. 15 to 64 years. C. 65 years and over. D. 25 to 44 years. Answer B. 15 to 64 years. As per the latest census, the largest age group in Canada falls within the working age bracket of 15 to 64 years. Question 192. Which city is considered to have the highest diversity in Canada? A. Vancouver. B. Toronto. C. Montreal. D. Calgary. Answer B. Toronto. Toronto is often cited as one of the most multicultural cities in the world, with a large and diverse immigrant population. Question 193. As of the latest data, what is the most commonly spoken language in Canada after English and French? A. Mandarin. B. Punjabi. C. Spanish. D. Cantonese. Answer B. Punjabi. After English and French, Punjabi is one of the most widely spoken languages in Canada due to a significant South Asian community. Question 194. Which province has the highest rate of bilingualism in English and French? A. Quebec. B. New Brunswick. C. Ontario. D. Manitoba. Answer B. New Brunswick. New Brunswick has the highest rate of bilingualism due to its significant Acadian population and cultural emphasis on learning both official languages. Question 195. What was the primary reason for immigration to Canada in the 19th century? A. Economic opportunities. B. Religious freedom. C. Climate change. D. Political asylum. Answer A. Economic opportunities. The 19th century saw many immigrants coming to Canada for the economic opportunities presented by land and resource availability. Question 196. What policy did Canada implement in 1967 to change its immigration system? A. The Chinese Exclusion Act. B. The Points-Based Assessment System. C. The Indian Act. D. The Multiculturalism Policy. Answer B. The Points-Based Assessment System. In 1967, Canada introduced the Points-Based Assessment System to create a fairer immigration system based on skills and ability rather than race or nationality. Question 197. What percentage of Canada's population was born outside the country as of the latest census? A. About 10%. B. About 20%. C. About 30%. D. About 40%. Answer B. About 20%. As of the latest census, approximately 20% of Canada's population was born outside the country, reflecting its strong immigration rates. Question 198. Which age demographic is projected to see the most significant increase in the coming decades in Canada? A. Children under 14. B. Adults aged 25 to 39. C. Middle-aged adults 40 to 59. D. Seniors 65 and over. Answer D. Seniors 65 and over. Projections indicate that the senior demographic will see significant growth due to the aging baby boomer generation. Question 199. Which Canadian program is specifically designed to attract immigrants to rural and northern communities? A. Express Entry. B. Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot. C. Canadian Experience Class. D. Provincial Nominee Program. Answer B. Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot. This program is designed to help smaller communities attract and retain immigrants who can contribute to the local economy. Question 200. What is the term used to describe the generation of people born to immigrants in Canada? A. First generation. B. Second generation. C. New Canadians. D. Naturalized citizens. Answer B. Second generation. The term second generation refers to individuals born in Canada to immigrant parents. Question 201. What is Canada's only officially bilingual province? A. Quebec. B. Ontario. C. New Brunswick. D. Manitoba. Answer C. New Brunswick. New Brunswick is the only officially bilingual province in Canada, recognizing both English and French as official languages at the provincial level. Question 202. Which Canadian territory has the highest number of speakers of Indigenous languages? A. Yukon. B. Northwest Territories. C. Nunavut. D. British Columbia. Answer C. Nunavut. Nunavut has the highest percentage of Indigenous language speakers, with Inuktitut being the most commonly spoken among them. Question 203. In which province is French predominantly spoken by the majority of the population? A. Alberta. B. Quebec. C. Ontario. D. Nova Scotia. Answer B. Quebec. Quebec is predominantly French-speaking, with the majority of the population using French as their first language. Question 204. Which of the following languages is not one of the top 5 most spoken languages in Canada, after English and French? A. Punjabi. B. Spanish. C. Italian. D. Mandarin. Answer C. Italian. While Italian was once one of the most spoken non-official languages in Canada, it has been surpassed by others, such as Punjabi, Mandarin, and Spanish. Question 205. The Official Languages Act, which governs bilingualism in Canada, was enacted in which year? A. 1969. B. 1982. C. 1991. D. 2001. Answer A. 1969. The Official Languages Act was passed in 1969, establishing English and French as the official languages of Canada. Question 206. Which city is known for its high level of bilingualism and biculturalism, with a significant population speaking both English and French? A. Montreal. B. Ottawa. C. Toronto. D. Vancouver. Answer A. Montreal. Montreal is well known for its bilingual population, with a significant number of its residents fluent in both English and French. Question 207. What percentage of Canadians report being able to conduct a conversation in both English and French? A. Approximately 10%. B. Approximately 5%. C. Approximately 23%. D. Approximately 30%. Answer B. Approximately 5%. As of the last comprehensive survey, about 5% of Canadians reported being able to have a conversation in both official languages. Question 208. Which program is designed to promote bilingualism among Canadian youth? A. Language Immersion Program. The French for the Future. C. Official Languages Support Program. D. Explore Program. Answer D. Explore Program. The Explore Program is a Canadian government educational program that encourages bilingualism among youth by offering bursaries for immersion experiences in the other official language. Question 209. The term francophone refers to people who A. Speak French as a first language. B. Are from France. C. Are from Quebec. D. Can speak any Romance language. Answer A. Speak French as a first language. The term francophone is used to refer to people who speak French as their first language, regardless of their country of origin. Question 210. The Charter of the French Language, Bill 101, which makes French the official language of the government and public sector in Quebec, was adopted in what year? A. 1965. B. 1974. C. 1977. D. 1982. Answer C. 1977. Bill 101, the Charter of the French Language, was adopted in 1977, and it reinforces the use of French in the province of Quebec. Question 211. Which Canadian author won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 2013? A. Michael Ondaatje. B. Margaret Atwood. C. Alice Munro. D. Leonard Cohen. Answer C. Alice Munro. Alice Munro is renowned for her masterful short stories and was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 2013. Question 212. The group of seven is famous for painting. A. Abstract art. B. Canadian landscapes. C. Political caricatures. D. Religious scenes. Answer B. Canadian landscapes. The group of seven was a group of Canadian landscape painters in the 1920s. Question 213. Which Canadian city is known for its annual International Jazz Festival? A. Toronto. B. Montreal. C. Vancouver. D. Halifax. Answer B. Montreal. The Montreal International Jazz Festival is one of the most prestigious jazz festivals in the world. Question 214. Who is considered the father of French-Canadian poetry? A. Leonard Cohen. B. Louis Honoré Frechette. C. Émile Nelligan. D. Gaston Myron. Answer C. Émile Nelligan. Nelligan is one of the most famous poets in Quebec literature and is considered the father of French-Canadian poetry. Question 215. The iconic Canadian novel Anne of Green Gables was written by A. Lucy Maud Montgomery. B. Margaret Lawrence. C. Robertson Davies. D. Farley Mowat. Answer A. Lucy Maud Montgomery. Montgomery wrote the beloved series of novels set on Prince Edward Island featuring Anne Shirley. Question 216. Which Canadian musician is known for the song Hallelujah? A. Bryan Adams. B. Joni Mitchell. C. Leonard Cohen. D. Neil Young. Answer C. Leonard Cohen. Cohen's song Hallelujah has been covered by many artists and is known worldwide. Question 217. The National Gallery of Canada is located in which city? A. Ottawa. B. Toronto. C. Montreal. D. Vancouver. Answer A. Ottawa. The National Gallery of Canada, which houses a large collection of paintings, sculptures, and other artworks, is in Ottawa. Question 218. Which of the following is a prestigious Canadian literary award? A. The Booker Prize. B. The Griffin Poetry Prize. C. The Pulitzer Prize. D. The National Book Award. Answer B. The Griffin Poetry Prize. It is Canada's most generous poetry award for a first edition single collection of poetry written in English. Question 219. Which Canadian city hosts an acclaimed international film festival? A. Calgary. B. Toronto. C. Vancouver. D. Montreal. Answer B. Toronto. The Toronto International Film Festival, TIFF, is one of the largest publicly attended film festivals in the world. Question 220. Which of the following is a famous Canadian ballet company? A. The Royal Winnipeg Ballet. B. The Bolshoi Ballet. C. The New York City Ballet. D. The Paris Opera Ballet. Answer A. The Royal Winnipeg Ballet. The Royal Winnipeg Ballet is one of the oldest ballet companies in North America and the longest continuously operating ballet company in Canada. Question 221. What day is Canada Day celebrated? A. July 1. B. May 21. C. August 15. D. October 11. Answer A. July 1. Canada Day is celebrated on July 1st and marks the anniversary of the Confederation of Canada. Question 222. Which holiday is celebrated on the second Monday in October in Canada? A. Thanksgiving. B. Victoria Day. C. Canada Day. D. Labor Day. Answer A. Thanksgiving. Canadian Thanksgiving is celebrated on the second Monday in October each year. Question 223. What is the significance of Boxing Day in Canada? A. Celebrating boxers. B. A day for giving to the less fortunate. C. A shopping holiday with sales. D. The start of the ice hockey season. Answer C. A shopping holiday with sales. Boxing Day, observed on December 26th, is known as a shopping holiday, with many retailers offering significant sales. Question 224. On which day do Canadians remember and honor military veterans? A. Remembrance Day. B. Canada Day. C. Victoria Day. D. National Patriots Day. Answer A. Remembrance Day. Remembrance Day is observed on November 11th to honor military veterans. Question 225. What is the primary celebration during the Canadian National Indigenous Peoples Day? A. The arrival of Europeans. B. Indigenous culture, heritage, and achievements. C. Signing of the Constitution Act. D. The beginning of spring. Answer B. Indigenous culture, heritage, and achievements. National Indigenous Peoples Day, celebrated on June 21st, honors the culture, heritage, and achievements of Indigenous peoples in Canada. Question 226. Which province has a statutory holiday in February named Islander Day? A. Quebec. B. Nova Scotia. C. Prince Edward Island. D. Newfoundland and Labrador. Answer C. Prince Edward Island. Islander Day is a statutory holiday in February celebrated in Prince Edward Island. Question 227. The celebration of St. John Baptist Day is especially important in which Canadian province? A. Alberta. B. Quebec. C. Manitoba. D. Ontario. Answer B. Quebec. St. John Baptist Day on June 24th is particularly significant in Quebec, celebrating Francophone culture. Question 228. Nunavut Day is celebrated on July 9th to mark what event? A. The discovery of Nunavut. B. The establishment of Nunavut as a territory. C. The signing of the Nunavut Land Claims Agreement. D. The birthday of the current premier of Nunavut. Answer B. The establishment of Nunavut as a territory. Nunavut Day celebrates the establishment of Nunavut as a Canadian territory on July 9, 1993. Question 229. Which festival is known as the greatest outdoor show on Earth? A. Toronto International Film Festival. B. Montreal International Jazz Festival. C. Calgary Stampede. D. Winterlude. Answer C. Calgary Stampede. The Calgary Stampede is an annual rodeo, exhibition, and festival held every July in Calgary, Alberta. Question 230. Louis Riel Day is a statutory holiday in Manitoba on the third Monday of February to honor A. The founder of Manitoba. B. A famous hockey player. C. A former Prime Minister of Canada. D. A war hero. Answer A. The founder of Manitoba. Louis Riel Day recognizes Louis Riel, a Métis leader and the founder of the province of Manitoba. Question 231. What is Canada's national winter sport? A. Curling. B. Ice hockey. C. Lacrosse. D. Basketball. Answer B. Ice hockey. Ice hockey is recognized as Canada's national winter sport and has a significant presence in Canadian culture. Question 232. Which Canadian city hosted the 2010 Winter Olympics? A. Montreal. B. Vancouver. C. Calgary. D. Toronto. Answer B. Vancouver. The 2010 Winter Olympics were held in Vancouver, British Columbia. Question 233. Who is known as the Great One in the world of Canadian hockey? A. Maurice Richard. B. Tim Horton. C. Wayne Gretzky. D. Sidney Crosby. Answer C. Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky is nicknamed the Great One and is considered one of the greatest hockey players of all time. Question 234. In what sport is the Grey Cup awarded? A. Soccer. B. Ice hockey. C. Canadian football. D. Basketball. Answer C. Canadian football. The Grey Cup is the championship trophy awarded annually to the Canadian Football League, CFL, winner. Question 235. Which of the following is a traditional Canadian sport with First Nations origins? A. Ice hockey. B. Lacrosse. C. Curling. D. Snowboarding. Answer B. Lacrosse. Lacrosse is a traditional Indigenous sport and also recognized as Canada's national summer sport. Question 236. How many times has Canada hosted the Summer Olympics? A. Never. B. Once. C. Twice. D. 3 times. Answer B. Once. Canada has hosted the Summer Olympics once, in Montreal in 1976. Question 237. What is the name of Canada's highest professional soccer league? A. Major League Soccer, MLS. B. Canadian Premier League, CPL. C. North American Soccer League, NASL. D. United Soccer League, USL. Answer B. Canadian Premier League, CPL. The CPL is the top professional soccer league in Canada, established in 2019. Question 238. Who was the first Canadian woman to win a Grand Slam singles tennis title? A. Carling Bassett-Seguso. B. Eugenie Bouchard. C. Bianca Andreescu. D. Helen Kalesi. Answer C. Bianca Andreescu. She won the U.S. Open in 2019, becoming the first Canadian woman to win a Grand Slam singles title. Question 239. Which Canadian city is home to the NHL team, the Flames? A. Ottawa. B. Calgary. C. Edmonton. D. Winnipeg. Answer B. Calgary. The Calgary Flames are an NHL team based in Calgary, Alberta. Question 240. The Canadian Grand Prix is associated with which sport? A. Horse racing. B. Auto racing. C. Cycling. D. Track and field. Answer B. Auto racing. The Canadian Grand Prix is a Formula One race held in Canada. Question 241. What is the national animal of Canada? A. Grizzly bear. B. Moose. C. Beaver. D. Canadian goose. Answer C. Beaver. The beaver was given official status as an emblem of Canada when an act to provide for the recognition of the beaver, Castor canadensis, as a symbol of the sovereignty of Canada, received royal assent on March 24, 1975. Question 242. Which of the following trees is considered a national symbol of Canada? A. Oak. B. Maple. C. Birch. D. Pine. Answer B. Maple. The maple leaf is widely associated with Canada and is depicted on the country's flag. The maple tree itself symbolizes strength and endurance. Question 243. The Canadian horse is recognized as a national symbol. Which province is it particularly associated with? A. Ontario. B. Quebec. C. Alberta. D. British Columbia. Answer B. Quebec. The Canadian horse, known for its strength and resilience, is closely associated with Quebec and was officially recognized as a national symbol of Canada in 2002. Question 244. What does the red-white-red pattern of the Canadian flag symbolize? A. The Atlantic and Pacific coasts. B. The bloodshed during wars. C. The French and British heritage. D. The northern and southern borders. Answer A. The Atlantic and Pacific coasts. The two red bands represent the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, while the white center symbolizes the land that connects them, with the maple leaf emphasizing Canadian identity. Question 245. The National Tower, commonly known as the CN Tower, is an iconic symbol located in which Canadian city? A. Vancouver. B. Toronto. C. Montreal. D. Calgary. Answer B. Toronto. The CN Tower is a renowned national symbol and landmark in Toronto, Ontario. Question 246. What is the title of the Canadian national anthem? A. O Canada. B. God Save the Queen. C. My Canada. D. The True North. Answer A. O Canada. O Canada is the national anthem of Canada, officially adopted in 1980. Question 247. Which symbol is featured on all Canadian coins? A. The Canadian goose. B. The crown. C. The maple leaf. D. The beaver. Answer C. The maple leaf. The maple leaf is a prominent Canadian symbol and is featured on all Canadian coins. Question 248. Which of the following is not a recognized symbol of Canada? A. The coat of arms. B. The beaver. C. The Canada J. D. The bald eagle. Answer D. The bald eagle. The bald eagle is not a recognized symbol of Canada. It is more commonly associated with the United States. Question 249. What does the white in the Canadian flag represent? A. Peace and tranquility. B. Snow and cold climate. C. Purity and neutrality. D. The French population. Answer C. Purity and neutrality. While the white in the flag can be interpreted in several ways, it officially represents purity and neutrality. Question 250. Lacrosse, along with which other sport, is recognized as a national game of Canada? A. Basketball. B. Ice hockey. C. Curling. D. Canadian football. Answer B. Ice hockey. Ice hockey and lacrosse are recognized as Canada's national winter and summer sports, respectively. Question 251. In Canada, what is the appropriate way to greet someone in a formal setting? A. A bow. B. A handshake. C. A kiss on both cheeks. D. A hug. Answer B. A handshake. In Canada, a firm handshake is the common greeting in formal settings and is appropriate for both men and women. Question 252. What is considered polite to do when you receive a gift in Canada? A. Open it immediately in front of the giver. B. Wait and open it later in private. C. Decline the gift at first. D. Give a gift in return immediately. Answer A. Open it immediately in front of the giver. It is considered polite and shows appreciation to open a gift when you receive it. Question 253. When invited to someone's home in Canada, what is a customary gesture? A. Bring a small gift for the host. B. Offer to remove your shoes at the door. C. Both A and B. D. Neither A nor B. Answer: C. Both A and B. It is customary to bring a small gift, such as wine, flowers, or dessert, and it is also common to offer to remove your shoes when entering someone's home. Question 254. What is the standard tip percentage in Canadian restaurants? A. 5 to 10%. B. 10 to 15%. C. 15 to 20%. D. 20 to 25%. Answer: C. 15 to 20%. The standard tipping percentage in Canadian restaurants for good service is typically between 15% and 20%. Question 255. In a Canadian business meeting, when is it appropriate to start discussing business? A. Immediately upon arrival. B. After some small talk. C. Towards the middle of the meeting. D. At the end of the meeting. Answer: B. After some small talk. It is usual to engage in a brief period of small talk before discussing business matters in a Canadian business setting. Question 256. What is the customary way to signal that you have finished eating at a Canadian dinner table? A. Placing your napkin on the table. B. Crossing your cutlery on the plate. C. Placing your cutlery together on the right side of the plate. D. Leaving a little food on the plate. Answer: C. Placing your cutlery together on the right side of the plate. This indicates to the host or server that you are finished with your meal. Question 257. Which of the following actions is considered rude in Canadian culture? A. Making direct eye contact. B. Speaking in a loud voice. C. Waiting in line patiently. D. Holding the door for the person behind you. Answer: B. Speaking in a loud voice. Speaking loudly in public, especially in enclosed spaces like restaurants or public transport, is often considered rude. Question 258. In Canada, what is the appropriate action if you are late for an appointment? A. Cancel the appointment. B. Apologize and offer a reasonable explanation. C. Ignore the lateness and act as if nothing happened. D. Promise to bring a gift next time. Answer: B. Apologize and offer a reasonable explanation. Punctuality is valued in Canada, and it is considered polite to apologize and explain if you are unavoidably late. Question 259. When conversing with Canadians, which topic is generally considered safe and polite to discuss? A. Politics. B. Religion. C. Personal income. D. Weather. Answer: D. Weather. Discussing the weather is a common and safe small talk topic in Canada and many other cultures. Question 260. In the Canadian workplace, what is the appropriate dress code for most business environments? A. Casual wear. B. Business casual. C. Formal business attire. D. Traditional attire. Answer: B. Business casual. While it varies by industry, business casual is commonly accepted in many Canadian workplaces, especially on days without important meetings or events. Question 261. What year was the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms enacted? A. 1960. B. 1982. C. 1977. D. 1992. Answer: B. 1982. The Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms was enacted in 1982 as part of the Canada Act, which also repatriated the Canadian Constitution. Question 262. Which of the following is not an explicit right or freedom under the Charter? A. Freedom of expression. B. Right to a fair trial. C. Freedom of economic rights. D. Right to vote. Answer: C. Freedom of economic rights. While the Charter includes fundamental freedoms and democratic rights, it does not explicitly mention economic rights. Question 263. Section 2 of the Charter enumerates which of the following? A. Democratic rights. B. Fundamental freedoms. C. Mobility rights. D. Legal rights. Answer B. Fundamental freedoms. Section 2 of the Charter guarantees fundamental freedoms such as freedom of conscience, religion, thought, belief, opinion, expression, peaceful assembly, and association. Question 264. What is the purpose of Section 33 of the Charter, also known as the Notwithstanding Clause? A. To allow the federal parliament to override provincial laws. B. To permit a government to exempt a particular law from the sections of the Charter. C. To guarantee rights to education in either of Canada's official languages. D. To prevent the Charter from applying to the monarchy. Answer B. To permit a government to exempt a particular law from the sections of the Charter concerning fundamental freedoms, legal rights, and equality rights for up to 5 years, subject to renewal. Question 265. Which group is specifically mentioned in Section 15-2 as being able to have affirmative action programs? A. Women. B. People with disabilities. C. Aboriginal peoples. D. All of the above. Answer D. All of the above. Section 15-2 acknowledges that laws, programs, and activities designed to ameliorate conditions of disadvantaged individuals or groups, such as women, people with disabilities, and Aboriginal peoples, are not considered discrimination. Question 266. The legal rights included in the Charter, such as the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty, are found in which section? A. Section 6. B. Section 7. C. Section 11. D. Section 15. Answer C. Section 11. This section of the Charter outlines the legal rights of individuals in legal and judicial matters. Question 267. The Charter's mobility rights, which allow citizens to move and earn a living anywhere in Canada, are contained in which section? A. Section 6. B. Section 7. C. Section 8. D. Section 12. Answer A. Section 6. These rights include the ability to enter, remain in, and leave Canada, as well as the right to move to and take up residence in any province. Question 268. Which section of the Charter provides for the right to use either of Canada's official languages in parliamentary and government proceedings? A. Section 16. B. Section 19. C. Section 20. D. Section 23. Answer B. Section 19. This section affirms the use of both English and French in all parliamentary and legislative processes. Question 269. The Charter applies to A. Private disputes between citizens. B. The actions of federal and provincial governments. C. Both federal and private sector employment. D. International relations. Answer B. The actions of federal and provincial governments. The Charter sets out rights that protect Canadians against legislation or actions by the federal and provincial governments that infringe upon those rights. Question 270. Which section of the Charter sets out that every individual is equal before and under the law? A. Section 15. B. Section 28. C. Section 27. D. Section 12. Answer A. Section 15. This section provides that every individual in Canada is to be considered equal before and under the law, and has the right to the equal protection and equal benefit of the law without discrimination. Question 271. Which international document was proclaimed by the United Nations General Assembly in 1948? A. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights. B. The Geneva Convention. C. The International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. D. The Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen. Answer A. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The UDHR was proclaimed by the United Nations General Assembly in Paris on 10 December 1948 as a common standard of achievements for all peoples and all nations. Question 272. Which principle is not explicitly protected under the Universal Declaration of Human Rights? A. Freedom of speech. B. Right to a fair trial. C. Right to internet access. D. Protection from discrimination. Answer C. Right to internet access. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights does not explicitly mention internet access, as it was created before the internet era. Question 273. What does Article 5 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights prohibit? A. Slavery and servitude. B. Arbitrary arrest and detention. C. Torture and cruel treatment. D. Discrimination in employment. Answer C. Torture and cruel treatment. Article 5 states that no one shall be subjected to torture or to cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. Question 274. Which organization is known for its work in reporting on human rights violations globally? A. World Health Organization. B. Amnesty International. C. United Nations Children's Fund. D. World Trade Organization. Answer B. Amnesty International. Amnesty International is a global movement of more than 7 million people who take injustice personally and campaign for a world where human rights are enjoyed by all. Question 275. What is the main purpose of the European Convention on Human Rights? A. To promote economic cooperation in Europe. B. To protect human rights and political freedoms in Europe. C. To regulate trade agreements between European countries. D. To handle immigration policies for the European Union. Answer B. To protect human rights and political freedoms in Europe. The European Convention on Human Rights was designed to protect human rights and fundamental freedoms in Europe. Question 276. The principle of non-refoulement under international law protects individuals from A. Being unfairly taxed. B. Being returned to a country where they face torture. C. Losing their citizenship without due process. D. Being extradited for political crimes. Answer B. Being returned to a country where they face torture. The principle of non-refoulement forbids a country receiving asylum seekers from returning them to a country in which they would be in likely danger of persecution. Question 277. Which right is included in the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights? A. The right to bear arms. B. The right to free tertiary education. C. The right to work. D. The right to internet access. Answer C. The right to work. The International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights recognizes the right of everyone to the opportunity to gain his living by work, which he freely chooses or accepts. Question 278. What is the focus of the Convention on the Rights of the Child? A. Ensuring equal rights for children and adults. B. Promoting the cultural rights of children. C. Protecting the civil, political, economic, social, and health rights of children. D. Providing financial support to orphan children. Answer C. Protecting the civil, political, economic, social, and health rights of children. The Convention on the Rights of the Child is a human rights treaty which sets out the civil, political, economic, social, health, and cultural rights of children. Question 279. In human rights law, the term positive obligations refers to A. The duty to prevent violations of human rights by third parties. B. The duty of citizens to obey just laws. C. The requirement for annual reporting on human rights issues. D. The financial contributions to human rights organizations. Answer A. The duty to prevent violations of human rights by third parties. Positive obligations require states to take steps to ensure that individuals' rights are not violated by others, not just by the state itself. Question 280. The right to freedom of association primarily allows individuals to A. Move freely within their country. B. Associate with any political party. C. Form and join trade unions. D. Own property collectively. Answer: C. Form and join trade unions. The right to freedom of association is most commonly associated with the right to form and join trade unions for the protection of one's interests. Question 281. In Canadian law, which of the following is considered a legal right? A. The right to internet access. B. The right to silence upon arrest. C. The right to private health care. D. The right to employment. Answer: B. The right to silence upon arrest. This right is part of the legal rights guaranteed by the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. It allows an individual to refrain from speaking or participating in a police questioning process upon arrest or detention. Question 282. What is the primary purpose of the Canadian Legal Information Institute, CanLAI? A. To provide a forum for legal discussions. B. To offer free access to Canadian legal texts and judgments. C. To serve as a regulatory body for Canadian lawyers. D. To prosecute federal crimes. Answer: B. To offer free access to Canadian legal texts and judgments. CanLAI is a non-profit organization that aims to make Canadian law accessible for free on the internet. Question 283. Which legal document is typically used to outline the terms and conditions of employment in Canada? A. A collective agreement. B. An employment contract. C. A memorandum of understanding. D. A shareholder agreement. Answer: B. An employment contract. Employment contracts are used to define the terms and conditions of the relationship between an employer and an employee. Question 284. What is the role of a power of attorney in Canada? A. To prosecute criminal offenses. B. To manage the financial and legal affairs of another person. C. To defend an accused in a court of law. D. To certify legal documents. Answer: B. To manage the financial and legal affairs of another person. A power of attorney is a legal document that grants one person the authority to act on behalf of another person in financial and legal matters. Question 285. In Canada, what is the legal significance of the duty to accommodate? A. Employers must adapt to employee disabilities. B. Landlords must allow pets if requested by tenants. C. Public services must be provided in both official languages. D. Businesses must accept all forms of legal tender. Answer: A. Employers must adapt to employee disabilities. The duty to accommodate refers to the obligation of employers to make reasonable adjustments to the workplace or job functions to accommodate an employee's disability. Question 286. Which principle underlies the concept of informed consent in Canadian healthcare law? A. Patients must be informed about the costs of treatment. B. Patients have the right to refuse or choose their treatment after being informed of the risks and benefits. C. Consent is assumed in emergency situations. D. All medical treatments require a witness signature. Answer: B. Patients have the right to refuse or choose their treatment after being informed of the risks and benefits. Informed consent is a fundamental principle in healthcare that protects patient autonomy. Question 287. In Canadian law, what is the reasonable person standard used to determine? A. The competence of legal professionals. B. The appropriateness of behavior in negligence cases. C. The eligibility for jury duty. D. The fairness of a contract. Answer: B. The appropriateness of behavior in negligence cases. The reasonable person standard is used to assess whether a person's actions were legally appropriate by comparing them to that of a hypothetical reasonable person in the same situation. Question 288. What is the purpose of a class action lawsuit in Canada? A. To challenge the constitutionality of a law. B. To combine multiple similar lawsuits into one to be more efficient. C. To allow for faster criminal trials. D. To appeal decisions to the Supreme Court. Answer B. To combine multiple similar lawsuits into one to be more efficient. Class action lawsuits enable a group of people with the same or similar injuries caused by the same action or product to sue the defendant as a group. Question 289. What does the right to equal treatment under the law mean in the Canadian context? A. All individuals must be treated the same by employers. B. Laws must apply equally to all individuals without discrimination. C. Citizens and non-citizens have the same legal rights. D. All court cases must be heard by a jury. Answer B. Laws must apply equally to all individuals without discrimination. This principle ensures that the law does not discriminate on grounds such as race, gender, or religion. Question 290. What is the best interests of the child principle in Canadian family law? A. A child's preference must always be honored in custody disputes. B. The emotional well-being of a child is paramount in custody and access decisions. C. Parents have the final say in decisions regarding their children. D. Children have the right to choose their legal guardian. Answer B. The emotional well-being of a child is paramount in custody and access decisions. The best interests of the child principle mandates that all decisions made by courts must prioritize the child's well-being and developmental needs. Question 291. In Canada, what legislation primarily deals with the protection of personal information in the private sector? A. Personal Information Protection and Electronic Documents Act, PIPEDA. B. Canadian Human Rights Act. C. Privacy Act. D. Access to Information Act. Answer A. Personal Information Protection and Electronic Documents Act, PIPEDA. PIPEDA sets out the ground rules for how businesses must handle personal information in the course of commercial activity. Question 292. What is the purpose of Canada's Privacy Act? A. To oversee the personal information handling practices of private sector organizations. B. To govern how federal institutions handle personal information. C. To establish privacy rights for employees in the workplace. D. To manage access to information requests by the public. Answer B. To govern how federal institutions handle personal information. The Privacy Act sets the standards for the privacy rights of individuals and how federal institutions must deal with personal information. Question 293. Under Canadian law, when can equality rights be limited? A. If the limitation is prescribed by law, as can be demonstrably justified in a free and democratic society. B. If the limitation concerns a matter of national security. C. If the limitation is part of federal statute. D. If the limitation has been in place for more than 10 years. Answer A. If the limitation is prescribed by law, as can be demonstrably justified in a free and democratic society. Section 1 of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms allows reasonable limits on rights and freedoms. Question 294. Which Canadian Charter right is specifically focused on equality? A. Section 7, Legal Rights. B. Section 15, Equality Rights. C. Section 11, Rights in Criminal and Penal Matters. D. Section 27, Multicultural Heritage. Answer B. Section 15, Equality Rights. Section 15 of the Charter guarantees equal protection and equal benefit of the law without discrimination. Question 295. What does informed consent imply in the context of privacy rights? A. Individuals must be notified when they are being recorded. B. Individuals have the right to access information the government holds about them. C. Individuals have the right to be informed and to consent to the collection, use, or disclosure of their personal information. D. Organizations must inform individuals about privacy breaches. Answer C. Individuals have the right to be informed and to consent to the collection, use, or disclosure of their personal information. This principle ensures that personal information is handled transparently. Question 296. In terms of privacy, what is data minimization? A. Storing the minimal amount of data for the least amount of time. B. Collecting the least amount of data necessary for a specified purpose. C. Minimizing the use of personal data in public databases. D. Reducing data sharing between governmental agencies. Answer B. Collecting the least amount of data necessary for a specified purpose. Data minimization is a principle that dictates that only necessary data should be collected for specific purposes. Question 297. Which of the following is a principle of the privacy by design framework? A. Privacy as the default setting. B. Privacy as a secondary concern. C. Privacy must be balanced with commercial interests. D. Privacy is the sole responsibility of the data subject. Answer A. Privacy as the default setting. Privacy by design suggests that systems and processes should have privacy as the default. Question 298. What aspect of privacy is the right to be forgotten associated with? A. The right to have data erased from certain internet records upon request. B. The right to prevent personal information from being disclosed. C. The right to anonymity in public spaces. D. The right to keep previous criminal convictions private. Answer A. The right to have data erased from certain internet records upon request. The right to be forgotten pertains to the ability of individuals to have their personal information removed from certain public records or databases. Question 299. How does the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms protect privacy? A. Through explicit mention of privacy as a fundamental right. B. By implication through the protection of life, liberty, and security of the person. C. By enumerating data protection laws. D. By detailing government surveillance protocols. Answer B. By implication through the protection of life, liberty, and security of the person. While the Charter does not explicitly mention privacy, Section 7 has been interpreted to implicitly protect privacy rights. Question 300. Which Canadian law was enacted to promote the equality of all Canadians? A. Employment Equity Act. B. Privacy Act. C. Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. D. Canadian Multiculturalism Act. Answer A. Employment Equity Act. The Employment Equity Act aims to eliminate employment barriers for 4 designated groups: women, Indigenous peoples, persons with disabilities, and members of visible minorities. Question 301. Which Canadian invented the first commercially successful electric light bulb? A. Alexander Graham Bell. B. Thomas Edison. C. Henry Woodward. D. James Naismith. Answer C. Henry Woodward. While Thomas Edison is often credited with inventing the light bulb, Canadian inventors Henry Woodward and Matthew Evans patented the electric light bulb in 1874 and later sold the patent to Edison. Question 302. The invention of the electron microscope was significantly advanced by which Canadian company? A. Research in Motion. B. Bombardier. C. Northern Electric. D. ATI Technologies. Answer C. Northern Electric. Northern Electric, which later became part of Nortel, made key improvements to the electron microscope in the 1930s. Question 303. What medical invention is Canadian Dar, John Hopkins known for? A. The insulin pump. B. The pacemaker. C. The artificial heart valve. D. The CIT scan. Answer B. The pacemaker. Dar. John Hobbs invented the first cardiac pacemaker in 1950. Question 304. The Canadarm, a famous Canadian innovation, is primarily used in which field? A. Underwater exploration. B. Space exploration. C. Construction. D. Medical surgery. Answer B. Space exploration. The Canadarm is a series of robotic arms that were used on the Space Shuttle and are used on the International Space Station. Question 305. Who is credited with the invention of the walkie-talkie during World War II? A. Alfred G. Gross. B. Reginald Fessenden. C. Donald Haynes. D. Sanford Fleming. Answer C. Donald Haynes. Donald Haynes was a Canadian inventor who created the walkie-talkie in 1937 and further developed it for use during World War II. Question 306. The discovery of stem cells was made by two scientists at which Canadian university? A. University of Toronto. B. McGill University. C. University of British Columbia. D. University of Alberta. Answer A. University of Toronto. James Till and Ernest McCulloch discovered stem cells at the University of Toronto in the 1960s. Question 307. Which innovation is credited to Joseph Armand Bombardier? A. The snowmobile. B. The jet ski. C. The personal watercraft. D. The ATV. Answer A. The snowmobile. Joseph Armand Bombardier patented the snowmobile in 1937, and it has since become a popular means of winter transportation. Question 308. What is the communications technology developed by the Canadian company Research in Motion, RIM? A. The first touchscreen smartphone. B. BlackBerry. C. The first internet browser. D. Wi-Fi technology. Answer B. BlackBerry. RIM developed the BlackBerry, which was one of the first smartphones to integrate email and the internet. Question 309. Which Canadian innovation is Alexander Graham Bell most famous for? A. The metal detector. B. The telephone. C. The hydrofoil. D. The audiometer. Answer B. The telephone. Although Bell was born in Scotland, he was living in Canada when he invented the telephone in 1876. Question 310. Which Canadian is recognized for the discovery of the hormone insulin? A. Wilder Penfield. B. Norman Bethune. C. Frederick Banting. D. John MacLeod. Answer C. Frederick Banting. Along with Charles Best, Frederick Banting discovered insulin in the early 1920s at the University of Toronto, which has been used to treat diabetes. Question 311. Which Canadian social innovation became the precursor to modern crowdfunding platforms? A. The Toronto Stock Exchange. B. The Community Chest. C. Participatory budgeting in Guelph. D. The Vancouver Stock Exchange. Answer B. The Community Chest. The Community Chest, an early form of collective charity that began in various forms across Canada in the early 20th century, can be seen as a precursor to the modern concept of crowdfunding, where a community pools resources for a common goal. Question 312. Which Canadian city is known for pioneering North America's first bike-sharing program? A. Calgary. B. Montreal. C. Vancouver. D. Toronto. Answer B. Montreal. Montreal is known for introducing Bixi, North America's first large-scale bike-sharing program, which has served as a model for other cities across the continent. Question 313. Who was the Canadian behind the concept of the United Nations peacekeepers? A. Lester B. Pearson. B. Pierre Trudeau. C. Stephen Harper. D. Jean Chrétien. Answer A. Lester B. Pearson. Lester B. Pearson, who later became the Prime Minister of Canada, proposed the concept of UN peacekeeping forces while he was the Canadian Foreign Minister, an innovation in international conflict resolution. Question 314. The Canadian Radio, Television and Telecommunications Commission, CRC, led a cultural innovation in 1970 by introducing what policy to support national artists? A. Multiculturalism Act. B. Canadian Content, CanCon, regulations. C. Broadcasting Act. D. Digital Media Tax Credits. Answer B. Canadian Content, CanCon, regulations. The CRTC introduced Canadian content regulations to ensure that a certain percentage of content on the airwaves is Canadian, which has significantly shaped the nation's cultural landscape. Question 315. What is the Canadian innovation that has been influential in community and urban planning worldwide, particularly noted for its use in Vancouver? A. SkyTrain public transit system. B. Vancouverism. C. The Toronto Purchase. D. Calgary's Plus 15 Skywalk. Answer B. Vancouverism. Vancouverism refers to the city's style of urban planning and design that combines high-density residential towers with accessible public spaces and an emphasis on sustainable living, which has influenced urban development globally. Question 316. Who is credited with the discovery of insulin? A. Frederick Banting and Charles Best. B. Alexander Fleming. C. Jonas Salk. D. Christian Barnard. Answer A. Frederick Banting and Charles Best. Banting and Best, working at the University of Toronto, discovered insulin in 1921, which has since become a life-saving treatment for diabetes patients worldwide. Question 317. The first successful lung transplant was performed by a surgical team led by which Canadian surgeon? A. Norman Bethune. B. Wilder Penfield. C. James Till. D. Joel Cooper. Answer D. Joel Cooper. Dar. Joel Cooper led the team that performed the first successful lung transplant in 1983 at the Toronto General Hospital. Question 318. Which Canadian medical device was developed by John Hopps based on the effects of hypothermia on the heart? A. The pacemaker. B. The cardiac defibrillator. C. The heart-lung machine. D. The stent. Answer A. The pacemaker. The electrical engineer John Hopps invented the first external pacemaker in 1950, and his work laid the foundation for the internal pacemaker. Question 319. What is the name of the Canadian-developed vaccine that contributed significantly to the eradication of Ebola? A. Gardasil. B. RSV-ZEBOV. C. Bacillus calmette-guerin, BCG. D. MMR. Answer B. RSV-ZEBOV. Developed by scientists at the National Microbiology Laboratory in Winnipeg, the RSV-ZEBOV vaccine has been used to combat Ebola outbreaks. Question 320. What was the significant Canadian contribution to the treatment of epilepsy and the localization of brain function in the mid-20th century? A. The WADA test. B. The Penfield procedure. C. Deep brain stimulation. D. The Montreal procedure. Answer D. The Montreal procedure. Neurosurgeon Wilder Penfield developed the Montreal procedure, which involved electrical stimulation of the brain to treat epilepsy and map brain functions. Question 321. When was the Canadian Armed Forces officially established? A. 1867. B. 1910. C. 1920. D. 1968. Answer D. 1968. The Canadian Armed Forces were officially established in 1968 when the Royal Canadian Navy, the Canadian Army, and the Royal Canadian Air Force were unified into a single service. Question 322. What is the highest military honor for bravery in Canada? A. The Star of Military Valor. B. The Medal of Military Valor. C. The Canadian Victoria Cross. D. The Order of Merit of the Police Forces. Answer: C. The Canadian Victoria Cross. This is the highest military honor for bravery in Canada, equivalent to the Victoria Cross in the UK. Question 323. Which operation was conducted by the Canadian Armed Forces in response to the COVID-19 pandemic? A. Operation LASER. B. Operation NANOLK. C. Operation MPASD. D. Operation REASSURANCE. Answer: A. Operation LASER. This was the Canadian Armed Forces operation to support the Government of Canada's COVID-19 response. Question 324. What is the primary role of the Canadian Rangers? A. Coastal defense. B. Urban warfare training. C. Surveillance and sovereignty patrols in remote areas. D. Counter-terrorism operations. Answer: C. Surveillance and sovereignty patrols in remote areas. The Canadian Rangers provide a military presence in the northern, coastal, and isolated areas of Canada that cannot conveniently or economically be provided by other elements of the Canadian Armed Forces. Question 325. Who is the Commander-in-Chief of the Canadian Armed Forces? A. The Prime Minister of Canada. B. The Chief of the Defence Staff. C. The Governor-General of Canada. D. The Minister of National Defence. Answer: C. The Governor-General of Canada. As the representative of the monarch in Canada, the Governor-General serves as the Commander-in-Chief of the Canadian Armed Forces. Question 326. What is the main purpose of the Canadian Security Intelligence Service, CSIS? A. Conducting foreign intelligence operations. B. Overseeing the Canadian Armed Forces. C. Providing security for federal prisons. D. Collecting intelligence on threats to national security. Answer: D. Collecting intelligence on threats to national security. CSIS is primarily responsible for collecting, analyzing, and reporting on threats to Canada's national security. Question 327. The Anti-Terrorism Act, passed in the wake of which event, aimed to strengthen Canada's national security? A. The Cold War. B. The September 11 attacks in the USA. C. The Oklahoma City bombing. D. The 2010 Vancouver Olympics. Answer: B. The September 11 attacks in the USA. The Anti-Terrorism Act was part of Canada's response to the increased global security concerns following the attacks on September 11, 2001. Question 328. Which agency is responsible for cybersecurity in Canada? A. Royal Canadian Mounted Police, or CMP. B. Canadian Armed Forces, CAF. C. Communications Security Establishment, CSE. D. Canadian Border Services Agency, CBSA. Answer: C. Communications Security Establishment, CSE. CSE is tasked with protecting electronic information and communication networks in Canada. Question 329. What is Canada's Integrated Terrorism Assessment Centre, ITAC, primarily tasked with? A. Prosecuting terrorism-related cases. B. Integrating foreign intelligence into domestic security strategies. C. Assessing and analyzing all domestic and international terrorism threats. D. Coordinating military responses to terrorist threats. Answer: C. Assessing and analyzing all domestic and international terrorism threats. ITAC's role is to provide accurate, timely, and strategic assessments of the terrorist threats to Canada and Canadian interests. Question 330. Which of the following principles is a foundation of Canada's national security policy? A. Non-intervention. B. Multilateralism. C. Preemptive military strikes. D. Isolationism. Answer: B. Multilateralism. Canada has often emphasized the importance of international cooperation and partnerships, such as through the United Nations, for collective security and defense. Question 331. Which international alliance focused on military and security matters does Canada belong to? A. Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN. B. North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO. C. Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO. D. Union of South American Nations, UNASUR. Answer B. North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO. Canada is a founding member of NATO, an intergovernmental military alliance between 30 North American and European countries. Question 332. Canada has participated in numerous peacekeeping missions. Which organization typically mandates these missions? A. The European Union, EU. B. The North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA. C. The United Nations, UN. D. The G7. Answer C. The United Nations, UN. Canada has been involved in many peacekeeping operations and is known for its support of missions mandated by the UN. Question 333. In which conflict did Canada play a significant peacekeeping role by leading the UN forces during the Suez Crisis in 1956? A. The Gulf War. B. The Korean War. C. The Vietnam War. D. The Suez Crisis. Answer D. The Suez Crisis. The then Canadian Minister of External Affairs, Lester B. Pearson proposed the creation of the first UN peacekeeping force to ease the Suez Crisis, earning him the Nobel Peace Prize. Question 334. Canada is part of which initiative that aims to prevent the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction? A. Missile Technology Control Regime, MTCR. B. Proliferation Security Initiative, PSI. C. Wassenaar Arrangement. D. Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, CTBT. Answer B. Proliferation Security Initiative, PSI. The PSI is a global effort that aims to stop trafficking of weapons of mass destruction, their delivery systems, and related materials to and from states and non-state actors of proliferation concern. Question 335. Which Canadian governmental department is responsible for the country's defense policy and the Canadian Armed Forces? A. Department of National Defense, DND. B. Department of Public Safety and Emergency Preparedness. C. Department of Foreign Affairs, Trade and Development. D. Department of Justice Canada. Answer A. Department of National Defense, DND. The DND is the federal government department responsible for defending Canada's interests and values at home and abroad, as well as overseeing the Canadian Armed Forces. Question 336. What is the primary federal agency responsible for public safety and emergency management in Canada? A. Canadian Armed Forces. B. Royal Canadian Mounted Police. C. Public Safety Canada. D. Canadian Security Intelligence Service. Answer C. Public Safety Canada. Public Safety Canada coordinates emergency management, national security, and law enforcement efforts. Question 337. Which of the following services is typically a responsibility of municipal governments in Canada? A. Foreign diplomacy. B. Postal services. C. Firefighting services. D. Income tax collection. Answer C. Firefighting services. Firefighting services are usually provided by municipal or regional governments across Canada. Question 338. The number for emergency services in Canada, equivalent to 911 in the United States, is A. 112. B. 999. C. 911. D. 111. Answer C. 911. Canada uses the same emergency telephone number as the United States for police, fire, and medical emergencies. Question 339. Which Canadian service is responsible for maritime search and rescue operations? A. Canadian Coast Guard. B. Canadian Navy. C. Royal Canadian Mounted Police. D. Local police departments. Answer: A. Canadian Coast Guard. The Canadian Coast Guard is the lead agency responsible for maritime search and rescue operations in Canada. Question 340. In the event of a major disaster in Canada, which of the following is a primary responsibility of the Canadian Red Cross? A. Military defense. B. Law enforcement. C. Disaster relief and recovery services. D. Weather forecasting. Answer: C. Disaster relief and recovery services. The Canadian Red Cross assists communities in emergency preparedness, response, and recovery. Question 341. What is the name of Canada's publicly funded healthcare system? A. Medicare. B. Medican. C. HealthCan. D. CanHealth. Answer: A. Medicare. Canada's public healthcare system is known as Medicare, which provides coverage to all Canadian citizens and permanent residents. Question 342. Which act is considered the cornerstone of the universal healthcare system in Canada? A. The Health Act. B. The Canada Health Act. C. The Universal Healthcare Act. D. The Medical Protection Act. Answer: B. The Canada Health Act. The Canada Health Act sets the principles for the publicly funded healthcare system and aims to ensure that all eligible residents of Canada have reasonable access to insured health services without direct charges. Question 343. In Canada, who is primarily responsible for the administration and delivery of healthcare services? A. Federal government. B. Provincial and territorial governments. C. Private sector. D. Municipal governments. Answer: B. Provincial and territorial governments. While the federal government sets and administers national principles under the Canada Health Act, it is the provincial and territorial governments that are responsible for the management, organization, and delivery of healthcare services for their residents. Question 344. What is not covered by the Canada Health Act? A. Hospital stays. B. Physician services. C. Prescription medications outside hospitals. D. Surgery. Answer: C. Prescription medications outside hospitals. The Canada Health Act does not mandate coverage for prescription medications outside of hospitals, which is why many Canadians have supplemental private insurance for prescription drugs. Question 345. Which principle of the Canada Health Act ensures that all insured persons in Canada have access to healthcare services on uniform terms and conditions? A. Portability. B. Universality. C. Accessibility. D. Comprehensiveness. Answer: B. Universality. Universality ensures that all insured residents are entitled to the same level of health care. Question 346. What does the principle of portability in the Canada Health Act guarantee? A. Free health services for all. B. Coverage across all provinces and territories. C. No user fees for services. D. Equal services for all citizens. Answer: B. Coverage across all provinces and territories. Portability ensures that residents remain covered when they move or travel anywhere in Canada or travel outside the country. Question 347. How are the costs of Canada's healthcare system primarily funded? A. By patient-paid premiums. B. Through a single-payer system from general taxation. C. Private health insurance. D. Direct fees for services. Answer: B. Through a single-payer system from general taxation. The healthcare system is funded by taxes collected by the government, making it a single-payer healthcare system. Question 348. What term is often used to describe Canada's healthcare system? A. Privatized. B. Out of pocket. C. Single payer. D. Fee for service. Answer C. Single payer. Canada's healthcare system is often described as a single payer system because the government acts as the single payer for healthcare services. Question 349. Who typically provides primary care services in Canada? A. Specialists. B. Family physicians. C. Surgeons. D. Nurses only. Answer B. Family physicians. Family physicians are usually the first point of contact and provide primary care services in Canada. Question 350. What has been a significant issue regarding healthcare in Canada in recent years? A. Decrease in quality of care. B. Overutilization of surgical procedures. C. Wait times for certain non-emergency services. D. Lack of hospital beds. Answer C. Wait times for certain non-emergency services. One of the criticisms of the Canadian healthcare system is the long wait times that patients sometimes face for certain elective or non-emergency procedures. Question 351. What is typically the most notable difference between public and private schools in Canada? A. Curriculum standards. B. School hours and holidays. C. Source of funding. D. Student-teacher ratio. Answer C. Source of funding. Public schools are funded by the government, whereas private schools are primarily funded through tuition fees and private contributions. Question 352. Which of the following is generally true about private education in Canada compared to public education? A. Private schools have a more diverse student body. B. Private schools are required to follow provincial curriculums. C. Private schools often have smaller class sizes. D. Private schools are free of charge. Answer C. Private schools often have smaller class sizes. This can be attributed to the funding model and resources available to private schools, which allow for more individual attention to students. Question 353. In Canada, which type of school typically offers religious education as part of the curriculum? A. Public schools. B. Private schools. C. Both public and private schools. D. Neither public nor private schools. Answer B. Private schools. Religious education is more commonly associated with private schools, as public schools tend to adhere to secular principles. Question 354. How does teacher certification in Canada differ between public and private schools? A. Only public school teachers require certification. B. Only private school teachers require certification. C. Both public and private school teachers require certification by law. D. Certification requirements vary by province or territory. Answer D. Certification requirements vary by province or territory. While public school teachers generally need to be certified, private schools may have different requirements depending on the province or territory. Question 355. What advantage is often cited for public schooling in Canada? A. Exclusivity and prestige. B. Religious instruction. C. Socioeconomic diversity. D. Specialized educational programs. Answer C. Socioeconomic diversity. Public schools are available to all students regardless of socioeconomic status, fostering a diverse environment. Question 356. Which program provides financial assistance to parents with children under the age of 18? A. Employment insurance. B. Canada Pension Plan. C. Canadian Child Benefit. D. Old Age Security. Answer C. Canadian Child Benefit. The Canadian Child Benefit is a tax-free monthly payment made to eligible families to help them with the cost of raising children under 18 years of age. Question 357. What is the main purpose of Canada's Employment Insurance (EI) program? A. To provide temporary financial assistance to unemployed workers. B. To fund retirement pensions. C. To subsidize higher education costs. D. To offer healthcare benefits. Answer A. To provide temporary financial assistance to unemployed workers. Employment insurance offers temporary financial assistance to those who have lost their job through no fault of their own while they look for new employment or upgrade their skills. Question 358. Which social program is specifically designed to provide support to the elderly in Canada? A. Canada Child Benefit. B. Universal Child Care Benefit. C. Old Age Security. D. Workers' Compensation. Answer C. Old Age Security. Old Age Security is a taxable monthly social security payment available to most Canadians 65 years of age or older. Question 359. Which service is generally provided by social welfare programs in Canada to support low-income individuals and families? A. Stock market investment options. B. Business startup loans. C. Housing subsidies. D. Luxury goods discounts. Answer C. Housing subsidies. Social welfare programs in Canada provide support through housing subsidies to help low-income individuals and families afford their living arrangements. Question 360. What is the primary focus of social services in Canada? A. Encouraging foreign investment. B. Promoting cultural events. C. Protecting the environment. D. Supporting the well-being of individuals and communities. Answer D. Supporting the well-being of individuals and communities. The primary focus of social services in Canada is to support the well-being of individuals and communities, particularly those who are vulnerable or disadvantaged. Question 361. What was the primary public health response of Canada to the COVID-19 pandemic in early 2020? A. Herd immunity strategy. B. Immediate full-scale lockdown. C. Travel restrictions and quarantine measures. D. No action was taken. Answer C. Travel restrictions and quarantine measures. Canada's primary response to the COVID-19 pandemic initially included imposing travel restrictions, advising self-quarantine measures, and later implementing physical distancing guidelines. Question 362. Which initiative focuses on the prevention of mental health problems and support for those who experience them in Canada? A. The Canada Food Guide. B. The Mental Health Commission of Canada. C. Canadian Red Cross. D. Health Canada's Drug Strategy. Answer B. The Mental Health Commission of Canada. This organization leads the development and dissemination of innovative programs and tools to support the mental health and wellness of Canadians. Question 363. What is the goal of the Canada Prenatal Nutrition Program, CPNP? A. To provide nutrition supplements to adults. B. To support prenatal and early childhood nutrition. C. To educate teenagers on nutrition. D. To distribute food to low-income families. Answer B. To support prenatal and early childhood nutrition. The CPNP provides funding to community groups that offer support to improve the health and well-being of pregnant women, new mothers, and babies, particularly those facing challenging life circumstances. Question 364. The Canadian Tobacco Strategy aims to reduce the prevalence of smoking to what percentage by 2035? A. 5%. B. 10%. C. 15%. D. 20%. Answer A. 5%. The Canadian Tobacco Strategy has set an ambitious target to reduce the smoking rate to less than 5% by 2035 as part of its broader efforts to address tobacco use. Question 365. Public Health Agency of Canada's Immunize Canada program is intended to A. Regulate pharmaceutical companies. B. Provide free medications to the public. C. Promote the benefits of immunization. D. Organize national fitness activities. Answer C. Promote the benefits of immunization. Immunize Canada is an initiative that aims to increase awareness about the benefits of immunization and encourage Canadians to get vaccinated to prevent the spread of infectious diseases. Question 366. Which Canadian university is the oldest post-secondary institution in Canada? A. University of Toronto. B. McGill University. C. University of British Columbia. D. University of New Brunswick. Answer D. University of New Brunswick. Founded in 1785, the University of New Brunswick is the oldest English language university in Canada and among the oldest public universities in North America. Question 367. Which Canadian research facility is renowned for its contribution to the discovery of insulin? A. The Hospital for Sick Children, Toronto. B. Montreal Neurological Institute and Hospital. C. Mars Discovery District. D. Banting Institute, University of Toronto. Answer D. Banting Institute, University of Toronto. The Banting and Best Department of Medical Research was established at the University of Toronto, where Frederick Banting and Charles Best conducted experiments that led to the discovery of insulin. Question 368. What is the primary funding agency for university-based research in Canada? A. Canadian Institutes of Health Research, CIHR. B. Natural Sciences and Engineering Research Council of Canada, NSARC. C. Social Sciences and Humanities Research Council, SSRC. D. All of the above. Answer D. All of the above. The CIHR and SERC and SSRC are the three main agencies that fund a significant portion of university-based research across all disciplines in Canada. Question 369. Which Canadian university ranks consistently among the top in global rankings for research-intensive institutions? A. McMaster University. B. University of Alberta. C. University of Toronto. D. Simon Fraser University. Answer C. University of Toronto. The University of Toronto often ranks as one of the top research-intensive universities globally due to its significant contributions to various fields of study and research. Question 370. What is the Canada Foundation for Innovation, CFI, known for? A. Providing scholarships to undergraduate students. B. Funding infrastructure for Canadian research. C. Regulating tuition fees for Canadian universities. D. Overseeing Canadian primary and secondary schools. Answer B. Funding infrastructure for Canadian research. The CFI provides financial support to universities, colleges, research hospitals, and nonprofit research institutions to increase their capability to carry out high-quality research. Question 371. What year was the current flag of Canada officially adopted? A. 1960. B. 1965. C. 1975. D. 1982. Answer B. 1965. The current flag of Canada, often simply referred to as the maple leaf, was inaugurated on February 15, 1965. Question 372. Which symbol is featured at the center of the flag of Canada? A. A beaver. B. A fleur-de-lis. C. A maple leaf. D. A lion. Answer C. A maple leaf. The flag features a stylized red maple leaf with 11 points at its center. Question 373. The coat of arms of Canada includes elements representing all of the following except A. The French monarchy. B. The English monarchy. C. The Irish monarchy. D. The German monarchy. Answer D. The German monarchy. The Canadian coat of arms includes elements that represent the French, English, and Irish monarchies, but not the German monarchy. Question 374. Which province has a flag featuring the Union Jack as part of its design? A. Ontario. B. Quebec. C. Newfoundland and Labrador. D. British Columbia. Answer C. Newfoundland and Labrador. The flag of Newfoundland and Labrador incorporates the Union Jack, reflecting the province's British heritage. Question 375. The national flag of Canada is also known by which other name? A. The Dominion flag. B. The maple leaf flag. C. The red ensign. D. The Royal Union flag. Answer B. The maple leaf flag. It is commonly referred to as the maple leaf flag or unifolia in French. Question 376. What is the title of Canada's national anthem? A. O Canada. B. God Save the Queen. C. The Maple Leaf Forever. D. Canada My Canada. Answer A. O Canada. O Canada was proclaimed Canada's national anthem on July 1, 1980. Question 377. In which year was O Canada officially adopted as the national anthem? A. 1967. B. 1980. C. 1867. D. 1908. Answer B. 1980. O Canada officially became the national anthem of Canada on July 1, 1980. Question 378. Who wrote the original French lyrics to O Canada? A. Calixa Lavallee. B. Robert Stanley Weir. C. Adolphe Basile Routhier. D. Leonard Cohen. Answer C. Adolphe Basile Routhier. The lyrics were originally written in French by Adolphe Basile Routhier in 1880. Question 379. Which song served as a de facto national anthem before O Canada was adopted? A. God Save the Queen. B. The Maple Leaf Forever. C. Alouette. D. None of the above. Answer B. The Maple Leaf Forever. The Maple Leaf Forever was often used as a patriotic song representing Canada before O Canada was adopted. Question 380. When was O Canada first performed, and at what occasion? A. 1867, Canadian Confederation. B. 1880, St. Jean Baptiste Day celebrations. C. 1967, Canada's centennial. D. 1980, proclamation ceremony of the national anthem. Answer B. 1880, St. Jean Baptiste Day celebrations. O Canada was first performed on June 24, 1880, at the St. Jean Baptiste Day ceremony. Question 381. Who is known as the father of Medicare in Canada? A. Pierre Trudeau. B. Lester B. Pearson. C. Tommy Douglas. D. John A. MacDonald. Answer C. Tommy Douglas. Tommy Douglas is considered the father of Medicare in Canada due to his role in introducing the first single-payer, universal healthcare program in Saskatchewan, which served as a model for the rest of the country. Question 382. Which Canadian Prime Minister received the Nobel Peace Prize in 1957? A. William Liam Mackenzie King. B. Lester B. Pearson. C. Pierre Trudeau. D. Stephen Harper. Answer B. Lester B. Pearson. Lester B. Pearson was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for his role in diffusing the Suez Canal crisis and for helping to establish the United Nations Emergency Force. Question 383. Who was the first female Prime Minister of Canada? A. Kim Campbell. B. Ellen Fairclough. C. Agnes MacPhail. D. Michael Jean. Answer A. Kim Campbell. Kim Campbell served as the 19th and first female Prime Minister of Canada in 1993. Question 384. Which Indigenous leader is celebrated for his role in the resistance against Canadian expansion into the West? A. Poundmaker. B. Tecumseh. C. Louis Riel. D. Big Bear. Answer C. Louis Riel. Louis Riel is well known for leading the Métis people in the Red River and Northwest rebellions, resisting the Canadian government's expansion into the West. Question 385. Which famous Canadian figure is known for his Marathon of Hope, a cross-country run to raise money for cancer research? A. Rick Hansen. B. Steve Fonio. C. Terry Fox. D. Michael J. Fox. Answer C. Terry Fox. Terry Fox embarked on the Marathon of Hope in 1980 to raise money and awareness for cancer research. Question 386. Who was Canada's first female astronaut to go to space? A. Julie Payette. B. Roberta Bondar. C. Jennifer Sidey Gibbons. D. Mark Garneau. Answer B. Roberta Bondar. Roberta Bondar became the first Canadian woman in space when she flew aboard the Space Shuttle Discovery in 1992. Question 387. Which Canadian hero was a leading figure for education and welfare in early 20th century Nova Scotia? A. Viola Desmond. B. J. S. Wordsworth. C. Dar. Norman Bethune. D. Joseph Howe. Answer A. Viola Desmond. Viola Desmond was a businesswoman who became an icon of the civil rights movement in Canada, particularly in Nova Scotia. Question 388. Who was the first Canadian to be awarded the Victoria Cross? A. Billy Bishop. B. Alexander Roberts Dunn. C. Leo Major. D. Andrew Mynarski. Answer B. Alexander Roberts Dunn. Alexander Roberts Dunn was the first Canadian to be awarded the Victoria Cross for his actions during the charge of the Light Brigade in the Crimean War. Question 389. Which Canadian figure is credited with the discovery of insulin? A. Wilder Penfield. B. Charles Best. C. Frederick Banting. D. John MacLeod. Answer C. Frederick Banting. Frederick Banting, along with Charles Best, is credited with the discovery of insulin, for which he received the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine in 1923. Question 390. Who is known as the Great One in Canadian sports history? A. Gordie Howe. B. Steve Yzerman. C. Wayne Gretzky. D. Sidney Crosby. Answer C. Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky is known as the Great One and is widely considered one of the greatest hockey players of all time. Question 391. Which Canadian invention is a vital communication tool that has been used in space? A. The Canadarm. B. Walkie-talkie. C. BlackBerry smartphone. D. Insulin. Answer A. The Canadarm. The Canadarm was a robotic arm developed by Canada and used on the space shuttle. It has been an essential tool for deploying, maneuvering, and capturing payloads in space. Question 392. What was invented by Canadian John A? Hops that has become critical in emergency and surgical procedures. A. Electric wheelchair. B. Pacemaker. C. Ultrasound. D. CAT scan. Answer B. Pacemaker, John A. Hops invented the first external pacemaker in 1950, which led to the development of the internal pacemaker, a life-saving device for patients with heart rhythm problems. Question 393. Which groundbreaking discovery by a team of Canadian researchers has saved millions of lives around the world? A. The polio vaccine. B. Insulin. C. Penicillin. D. The electron microscope. Answer B. Insulin. In 1921, Frederick Banting and Charles Best discovered insulin at the University of Toronto, which has been critical in the treatment of diabetes. Question 394. What did Canadian engineer Sanford Fleming contribute to the world in the 1870s? A. Standard time zones. B. The odometer. C. The snowmobile. D. The jetliner. Answer A. Standard time zones. Sanford Fleming proposed the system of worldwide standard time zones in the 1870s, which was officially adopted globally in 1884. Question 395. Which Canadian innovation has been essential in extreme winter conditions for both transportation and recreation? A. The electric oven. B. The snowmobile. C. Instant mashed potatoes. D. The paint roller. Answer B. The snowmobile. Invented by Joseph Armand Bombardier, the snowmobile was designed as a vehicle capable of traveling over snow and has become popular for both utilitarian and recreational use in snowy regions. Question 396. What is a core value often cited as a defining element of Canadian identity? A. Competitiveness. B. Individualism. C. Collectivism. D. Multiculturalism. Answer D. Multiculturalism. Canada is known for its multicultural policy and embracing diversity as a defining element of its national identity. Question 397. Which Canadian symbol is often associated with peacekeeping and international aid? A. The maple leaf. B. The beaver. C. The Mountie, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. D. The Canadian goose. Answer C. The Mountie, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. The Mounties are recognized worldwide as a symbol of Canadian law, order, and peaceful society. Question 398. The concept of peace, order, and good government is foundational to which Canadian document? A. The Canadian Bill of Rights. B. The Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. C. The Constitution Act of 1867. D. The Statute of Westminster. Answer C. The Constitution Act of 1867. The phrase peace, order, and good government reflects core principles of Canadian governance and society. Question 399. In the context of Canadian values, how is a mosaic often used in comparison to a melting pot? A. To describe economic policies. B. To describe defense strategies. C. To characterize the approach to cultural integration. D. To characterize the approach to environmental conservation. Answer C. To characterize the approach to cultural integration. Canada is often described as a mosaic in terms of its multicultural society, where diverse cultures coexist, unlike the melting pot metaphor used in other contexts. Question 400. What Canadian value is embodied by the term Terry Fox's Marathon of Hope? A. Athleticism. B. Perseverance and humanitarianism. C. Technological innovation. D. Environmental awareness. Answer B. Perseverance and humanitarianism. Terry Fox's Marathon of Hope is a symbol of Canadian values such as perseverance, bravery, and commitment to charitable causes.